Hello, and welcome back to The Contraband, where 6 Shakespeare actors play Blades in the Dark. This show is produced by Ghostlight RPGs, a collective of theater artists keeping the lamp lit even when theaters are dark. If you like what you see, please feel free to follow and subscribe. I am Ted Bushman, Game Master. Joining me on this tale of blades and banquets, calluses and conspiracies, Deathlands hunters and downriver deals are Jamie Hansen, Ben Isaacs, Kristin Perkins, Graham Ward, and Carson Wright. Welcome, everybody. Tell us things about yourself. Jamie, go.
Hello. I am Jamie Hansen, he, him, playing Varric Lomond, also he, him, the band's muscle and fighter in general. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, taking a position.
Yeah.
After Bram became the group's diplomat.
Exactly, yeah. Bram handles negotiations now. Barrett's the fighter. Everybody's just moving one slot to the left.
Yep. Ben Isaacs.
Hello, I'm Ben Isaacs, he, they. I play Hix Templeton, also he, they. I'm Hix is the mastermind bohemian spider of the crew.
Yeah, he's awesome. Kristin Perkins.
Hi, my name's Kristin. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing the girl, she, her, the resident lurk and costume designer, which might come into play tonight. We'll see. Yeah.
Wonderful. Graham Ward.
Hello, that's me. I'm Graham. I use he, him pronouns when asked, and as does my character, Bram Borden. Bram is the cutter, the fighter, the man getting the crap beat out of him for kicks. And he's feeling poetic tonight.
Love it. And Carson Wright.
Yes, I am Carson Wright. That's my name. I play, I use he, him pronouns. I play Aldo Basran, though I've dipped into Eckerd Colburn the last episode or two, but Aldo's coming back tonight as the resident leech, doctor, making bombs, making drugs, and now recently very interested in the ghost field. So we'll see what happens.
Great stuff going on. Just again, it is such a privilege to be here playing a game with all you guys. I'm so glad that we get to do this. I'm very excited for tonight's session, partially because after our, we've loved that we had essentially a 2-session arc of this single party, which is just
it was a good party.
It should be
really fun, yeah, as it should be. But I'm excited to jump back into downtime and sort of see what happens with us. And we've, the crew has gotten an interesting job. They've been hired by a woman who wore at the party a white stag mask, so we might refer to her sort of colloquially as the white stag, who gave the group a contract to humiliate Rufus Engine, the industrial titan who threatened them and their assets earlier in the season. They have several options of how to pursue this task, but basically the goal is that there is legislation coming forward that the Ministry of Preservation, which Rufus runs, is trying to separate itself and gain independence from Doskvol's government. So we're dealing with some pretty big municipal politics here, guys, which I know is exactly what you come to RPGs for.
So our town meeting will begin, and then we'll hear objections to the proposal.
Yes. All of you in the chat, please make your statements for or against the ministry. We're looking forward to it.
I love that political intrigue is like this genre, and in actuality, political intrigue is incredibly boring.
Yes. Yeah. You really have to dig to find the juice in it. Speaking of drama, there may also be a play attended tonight. We shall see. But yeah, here we are. Let me give a content warning before we jump into our game. So, where is this? Yes. The Contraband is a crime drama set in a dark and unpleasant city. Episodes will almost certainly contain strong language and violence, and may occasionally also include sex, traumatic figures from characters' pasts, creepy fish, subversion of tropes, and encounters with the gruesome undead. So, fire up your electroplasmic engine and descend with us into the Contraband. All right. Varric Lomond. Oh no, there's probably a loud car noise outside my window.
A little bit.
Whatever. We don't live in a void. Sorry, audience. Now it's all been revealed.
Is pulled back.
Varric Lomond, you and Kyrol Fairwind stride through the tall gardens of Felmore Manor towards the dock area where they originally dropped you off. There is a little valet boy who came and is bringing your boat around to bring you back. Kyrol says, Varric, felt so good to be with you at that party. It's like you're like a part of society again, like the good old days, don't you think?
Yes, it feels just like that. In fact, it'll be different, but it's very, very similar experience of well, a good old time, right? Just like you had.
Yes. What do you mean? You seem a bit strange about it.
No, it's just I don't know. I used to be so nervous before a big event because I was worried I'd screw something up and embarrass my father. And, well, now it doesn't matter. I've already done it, but I still find myself paralyzed with this just sense of doing something wrong, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I mean, you stride in there, you find women, you dance with them, you socialize, I'm sure sell your business wonderfully.
Oh, it's all part of the deal, you know. That's the life, and I think Varric, you're better at it than you think you are. I see you interacting with people. I see you making connections. I mean, you had that meeting up there in the Red Salon that I don't even know. You know, you're meeting these people, but
I think that's just it. That's just it, Kyrol. I mean, you met some people too, right? You were able to have a business interaction. Your prelude to that was dancing with some lovely ladies, right? I didn't fill you in on it, but my evening involved getting hit rather hard in the stomach multiple times before having this meeting. It always feels like such a struggle for me, and it seems as though it's easier for you. Has that ever occurred to you?
I've been fortunate in many ways, and I think that's something I tried to be aware of. Everyone feels that they're disappointing someone, right? But this makes me think, Varric. And he sort of pulls you to the side. There's this little like alcove in the garden. He says, your father, surely he's gotten over this business with Oyun, hasn't he? I mean, if I had a shipping contract for every promising young man who accidentally and through no fault of his own found himself in the arms of a foreign harlot, then I'd be Mara Hardenbrook, and the noble houses would all go extinct for lack of breeding stock.
That would be the worst thing to happen. I mean, I don't know. He hasn't reached out to me about any sort of forgiveness, and even if he did, he'd insist that He thinks that the choices I make, the people I decide to hang out with, they're all about him. They're all about how what I do is such a stain on his reputation. Like, it's his life, you know? Mm. He wants me to live my life as though it's the continuation of his.
I think you're looking at it the wrong way, Varric. Just kiss the ring. Just you let him think that he's the one in charge, and then you take his life. You take the thing that he has built, and you bring your own life to it. Listen, I've not wanted to say this sometime. Just because I wanted to support you, and I am here to support you.
You have done.
But that world, you don't belong in that world. With those criminals. You belong in ours. Your friend, Borden, he has some manners, but doesn't have the breeding. And he doesn't have the influence. Not like we could. I've watched you spend yourself with this hobby long enough. I think you need to take up your birthright.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's time to swallow my pride. I need more before I can come back. I need to be in a position that I'll be viewed at as an equal, you know? I can't come crawling back with nothing but the tales of my time amongst commoners.
You want to be the king of the underworld?
Well, that works seems to be. Don't worry about me, right? You have done so much just putting us in to that event. All right? I am in your debt, my friend. You're a far better person than anyone else that we've known our entire lives. Trust me on that.
You're very kindly to me, yeah. I'm a bit too drunk for that, but thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't want you to waste it. Yourself. Anyway, but I'm... Oh, look, they're calling us. The boat is coming around.
Well, your concern is noted. Your concern is noted, and I can assure you I won't waste my time. And I won't waste the opportunities you've given me.
Is your friend coming back with us, or has he found some other way of getting home?
Bram?
Yes.
Look up at the rooftops.
What's the situation with Bram? Is he coming back with them?
No. He's soaking wet. You probably can just make out his silhouette beside the girl on the rooftop.
Nice.
You know, I think he went home, actually. That's a bad appetizer, some stomach issues. Can't handle the rich food, you know.
Yes, they're just not used to it, you know. It's a shame. Great, he steps into the boat alongside you. So, how does everyone else go home from the party? Not that there needs to be an event, but basically, are there, methods by which people are getting back?
I think Bram's taking a, almost a rueful stroll through the long way through this district back to Silkshore.
Yeah, that's great. Is the girl with him, or is she taking her own route? What's that look like?
Well, I think because Hannah Cleon, my foster mother of a past life, now knows who I am. I can't go back with Valerie, so I'll join Bram if he'll let me, sort of trailing behind. Mm-hmm. Perhaps I follow sneakily for a little bit until he picks up, and then
yeah, he's looking back. The hell are you doing back there?
I mean, can I walk with you? Is that all right?
Of course you can. You don't need to ask.
Then we'll go off to Silkshore.
Right. Yeah. Is there any conversation between the two of you? It doesn't have to be. Just curious.
Yeah. He seems quiet.
She might try a little bit, maybe a little. Rooftops are always quite fun. I can help you climb more sometime, She tries to draw him out maybe a little bit, but respects when he doesn't want to.
Yeah, lovely. What about Hix? How's Hix getting back from the party? What's more Lane's situation, by the by?
I don't know. I mean, Yeah, I mean, if she wants to finish the job that I hired her for, if she's a professional or not, but I guess that's
she
up
does.
to her.
She sticks around for that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She is a pro. Yeah.
I mean, I never questioned her except when she like hurt my friend in a closet.
Yeah.
But so I'm like I'm not really, I don't know. I feel kind of strange about Marlene. It's not her fault, but
yeah,
it just wasn't what we needed.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hook back up with Tormas, who I'm actually like really excited to see, and I'm like, Tormas, yo, how was your night? It was cool that they let you in.
Yeah, he's like, I got to see a lot of things. Danced a little bit with some folks, and food was great. Did you have the food?
I didn't eat anything. No, I don't like that stuff. It's heavy. It makes me feel heavy. I mean, I'm working, man. Like I gotta be sharp. Like I try to keep it pretty clean on the job. I'm glad you had some though. Like, I mean, you're just driving.
Yeah. Yeah. I was glad that they let me. We get a job. Did we get a job?
Yeah.
Yeah, looking good. You taking us?
I'll tell you a little more about it later, Tormas.
Sure. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be talking about it here.
But yeah, we got a job and it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, you're running with the rich folks. It's surprising. I'm sure Mr. Lohman didn't have anything to do with these connections.
Oh yeah, Mr. Lohman. Mr. Lohman's connections. Trail off vaguely. I'm not trying to talk to Tormas about Varric.
Yep.
If Tormas has something to say to Varric, then Tormas can say to Varric. Perhaps Tormas picks that up, but perhaps not.
He might. Yeah. What about Eckerd? What does Eckerd do? So people have kind of disappeared from the party. I think they've all had their own ways. Yeah. And Eckerd's just sort of left going, huh.
Yeah, it's that total moment of it's the John Travolta, Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
I guess this is how it ends with these guys, and they just tries to hire a carriage, can't find one, and walks.
Oh wow! Oh, no. Yeah, because there's like so many people passing by. There's dozens of carriages.
Just things. He just walks.
And I guess the point where like the carriages are sort of like expecting a certain type of price from all the people who are heading back. All these super fancy groups.
It's just so funny that three of us like ended up walking home. Like, I brought the company boat. I had one of the people drive me in the company boat, and y'all like just walked home. I guess I didn't tell you. I thought I was on a date, but
classic dispersal.
Yeah,
that's great. I love it. So Eckerd walks back, and when he returns to the cemetery and to the gravedigger's shack, you find, or cabin, hut, you find Aldo is still laid out. The little pigeon is there singing a little bit like a weirdo in the little cage. Very colorful. What does Eckerd do?
I think as he comes home, he comes over to Aldo's body to kind of check on it. He'll probably spend some time, putting some fluid into his mouth, making sure that he's had his dinner, sort of sitting in a chair next to him.
Yeah.
And then I think once he will reach out over his chest, where the matching ghost scar is, and just sort of half attune and then decide not to.
Yeah.
Then he'll go to bed.
Yeah. Probably like it's in this little like slanted room with a really low ceiling. Is any of his are there any marks of his war experience in his room? Or is it all pretty plain? Is that?
I think it's generally plain. There's a kind of footlocker at the foot of his bed that would probably likely contain some stuff. There is the hint of a real long rifle poking out from underneath his cot for certain, but generally covered up with some blankets and things. And...
Sure. Yeah, see the bit of the stock.
Yeah.
So you have just finished this score. So we're actually going to get the payout and see what happened because of this score. So pretty successful actually in a big way. The first thing you get is money. So you in meeting with the White Stag, she promised that they would pay you 10 coin for this job, and they would pay you a third of it up front. So they're paying you 3 coin now. Also, you were tasked with stealing the brooch from Thurgood Rathsbane, which you did, which is worth 3 coin. So you can, in the next few days, find a fence and sell this brooch. And so that means that takes us to 6 coin that you've gained for the crew here.
Nice.
Yeah. You then, in terms of heat, I think it's either 2 or 3 heat. So 0 heat is smooth and quiet. 2 heat is contained standard exposure. 4 heat is loud and chaotic. Where do you guys feel like it landed?
I mean, y'all were shooting guns out on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might not have gotten to chaotic until that last little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it got to chaotic at all.
Yeah,
Because it was a single moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
People
isolated
were,
experience.
running out. Like, it didn't ruin the party.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
It wasn't a
just like,
gunshot going off in the middle of the
shooting.
dance floor.
Who cares?
I know there's likely somebody inside that's like, oh, those drunk whoever's out there. you know.
Leviathan
Duel
hunters
between
and
two
their
suitors.
guns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's precisely. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd say 3. So between contained and loud. That's
Yeah.
reasonable. Good.
Sure.
What do you say? What are you thinking, girl?
I was going to argue for 2, but 3. I think 3 is probably
No,
more
argue
fair.
for 2. What's
Yeah,
your
right.
argument?
Argue it. Yeah.
Give it to him.
Just that the gunshot did happen outside, and there didn't seem to be any reaction indoors. At least none that you played, right?
Yeah. There was a couple who came out freaking out, and then
Oh,
Bram
that's
shouted
right.
at them to go back inside. But that was it.
Listen, don't
I mean,
use me as evidence against.
Well, I mean, perhaps you should do a fortune roll to see if they told anybody or if the command worked. I don't know, but I think he already
the
rolled
command
for
did
the
work.
command,
Yeah,
and
the
he rolled a
command
6.
did work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
But I did shoot the face of a police officer.
Right.
Oh.
That's where I'm going. Maybe 3. Because
Yeah, 3.
It's not like you were just
Oh.
shooting a gun into the
Shove
night.
her
Yeah.
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 Wait, her face?
Oh
You
yeah,
got
I
her
got
the
her.
shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah, because it was a 5.
Aim
oh
for the
no, it
face,
was
though.
maybe a 6 with
Yeah.
reduced effect. Yeah.
I was
So-
like, this bitch got shot in the face twice.
yeah. Yeah.
She
That
definitely
sucks.
remembers us by this
Yes.
That
Oh my gosh.
sucks.
Yeah, that's-
Like, please die for your own sake. 'Cause it's, good thing it was a masquerade ball.
So, also you gain rep. So you're going to gain 2 rep by default, and then you will also gain 1 per tier higher of the people you're encountering or people you're facing against. The inspectors were kind of sort of your main foes there, so that would give you 4 rep for this event.
So that'll take us to maximum rep with 3 left over.
Okay. So this means that you now have the option of increasing the tier of the crew if you have, between all of you, 16 coin.
Aldo's
have
got
3.
2. You can pick his pocket if you want. Okay,
I'd
so
never.
One,
I
two,
wouldn't do
three.
that.
let's see. The crew has 4, and then should we all hold up fingers?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, you've got 17 coin between the lot of you. You'll have 1 coin left if you spend all this.
Let's do it.
I think it's
means
pretty
our
good.
I think,
Yes.
I think we should
Better.
tear up. I think we should tear up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired of reduced effect against the cops.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude.
So we'll have spent all of our money, and the crew will retain 1 of the coin. Did we just spend the 3 we made?
We spent the 6 we
the
made.
6
yeah.
you made is part
Oh,
of
sorry, the 6 we
that.
made.
Yeah.
Woo,
uh-huh.
baby.
Yep. So one remains after all that. So what this means mechanically is that, yeah, you won't have reduced effect. You're becoming a bigger crew. This also means that your friend Arisha Frost has enough money to hire to double the size of her crew. So you've gone from 4 maimed Leviathan hunters to 8. So you've got a bigger group on board, which is pretty cool. Some new blood starts coming in. I wanted to think, like, we don't have to go into this in detail, but as we get into downtime, I'm curious as to what the process for the crew of getting to tier 2 is like. So specifically, that means your training has improved, so you've just gotten better at all sorts of things. It means that you've got better armor, like you might have had new armor made, or maybe you're enhancing it, or maybe your costumer is working on it. Maybe you're probably getting new weapons made, like you've gone from like crappy rusty swords to like kind of high quality steel. Just curious if you guys feel like there are narrative moments or beats in that you're interested in exploring.
Okay, so this is a lot of money. So I'm gonna take
huge,
like 2, maybe 1 large sack of it, and I'm gonna take myself shopping and make some investments on some gear. So I'm gonna go to a gunsmith and try to buy a couple of real nice pieces.
Awesome.
And also a concealed palm pistol.
Heck yes.
So I can sneak that in places. And I'd probably go buy, I don't know, some clothing, I guess. I don't know. I would just start dressing a little nicer, I guess.
There's probably, like, in terms of gunsmiths in the area, there's probably there's a night marketplace where they're sort of like doing the newest fangled weaponry. So you could find a guy there who's sort of in one of the glowing markets that is open only at night. There's also probably like a Coleridge guy, like probably nearby the Short Fusers headquarters, where he's just like, he makes, forges these things himself, makes these guns.
I go to night market. I'd say maybe to Varric, I'd be like, do you want to go buy a nice gun with me?
Add me at buy. I will.
Let's go. I would enjoy it very much.
Fantastic.
Any of you can come. It seems like this scratches Varric's itch particularly. I'm hoping to blow off a little steam on this, and I know what gets Varric off. Wink. So it seemed like he'd be the obvious one to ask, but
love it. Cool. So any like cool engravings or like stain on the wood of your guns? I'm just thinking. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what's the newfangled technology? Like, or like the new design? Like, what am I looking at here?
So they probably have, they're probably guns with electroplasmic sights that like allow you to, to get a little bit of a drop on somebody. There's maybe like a reloading system for a couple of the pistols where like there's this like you like activate this mechanism which takes like 6.5 seconds to like automatically spin the thing, and it's like very inefficient. You could do it much faster with your hand, but
drop it.
God. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So somewhere. Go ahead. After you.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't know. I would just get one that's like kind of, I don't know, kind of sexy looking as far as guns go.
Awesome. I love it.
I'd get a pair
that
I could cross and like do like poses and have like Varric take my picture with, if he had a smartphone, perhaps that would be
hold still for 2 minutes.
Or like, just look at me. Do I look cool?
Let me get the exposure. Just hold very still.
Be cool.
The gunsmith says they do daguerreotypes down the street. If you would like to take some with your new weaponry.
You think I'm gonna let one of those witch doctors capture my image and keep it in his tin?
Let's
leave, Varric.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It is all too clear what company you keep here.
As you leave, the two of you are walking out the door. Bram's in the corner. He goes, "Oh!" And he's got a volley gun in his hand, which, as you may know, has like 6 barrels, and it's all controlled by a single trigger. And it's basically like, this is a real historical thing, but it basically launches like 6 shots at once. So it's like a shotgun, but with more precision, like a rifle. Within it's kind of short range, just like. Powerhouse of a 2-handed gun. It's scary as hell.
Yeah, that's an insane.
Didn't see you there. What do you plan on doing with that?
Oh, you know very well what I plan on doing. And I toss a sack of coin at the gunsmith.
Thank you very much, sir. And would you like any enhancements, either aesthetic or otherwise?
Blimey, yeah. Take the lot. And he has no idea. Like, he's not a tech guy, but he's like, yeah, sure. You want to put some extra sauce on it? Be my guest.
Amazing. I'm wondering what sort of like weird tacky stuff like he engraves on it in your name or whatever.
Yeah,
like a carving of a fish, like a big old fish.
Oh, an eel.
An eel. There you go. Yes.
On a hook, winding its way up the butt of the gun.
Yes. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yep. So good.
What
does
called?
Varric get? Oh yeah, what is your gun called? That's a good question.
There's an eel on it.
I mean, this name was rejected previously. Clearly, it's got to be called the eel fucker.
Clearly. I thought you might call it the eel
nuts.
fucker. I also remembered that name.
I only hesitated a beat for dramatic effect.
Thank you. The drama is not lost on me, buddy.
Isn't there a play? I heard the Velvet Patchworks had a play coming out.
Oh, did they?
Speaking of drama.
No, I don't keep my finger on that pulse. But
I do.
As you're we'll get back to the gun things, but maybe as you've been headed through the district, you've been seeing these lilac colored posters of the Velvet Patchworks latest play, which are like the old timey posters are just covered in text. This particular one says, "Attend a mystical and melancholic elegy presented by Doskvol's premier performance troupe, the Velvet Patchworks, composed by Medley Everett. It is entitled The Forgotten District," which like covers like 60% of the page. The rest of it says, "A fantasy of the abandonment of Hilltop District. Gentlemen and ladies, 1/2 of a silver. Servants and laborers, 10 copper. Children not permitted."
cool.
So that's
Now, children sounds like a pretty good play to me. Does it have any nudity?
One can hope.
That's right.
Actors.
love it. Any weapons for my boy Varric?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he'd look for whatever the small. Do they? He'd ask the gunsmith, "Do you have any sort of spring-loaded pistols that one can hide in clothing that just shoot right out and fire a single shot?"
He says, "We do as the lady." He gestures at Hix. As the lady requested, we do have some smaller pistols. We do not have the apparatus you suggest, as that is criminal, and we would not want to be supporting criminals.
You mean you don't?
Right.
You don't get criminals coming in here trying to buy guns from you?
We, if there are, we keep ourselves ignorant of such things.
Quite
I
right.
see.
Quite right.
Yes.
Goes back to like looking at guns.
Just to clarify, this is just intended as so it can be a fun surprise at parties. When you want to show it to friends, you know. Oh, there we go. There's my pistol. So yes, no reason to be concerned.
Quite amusing, sir. Yes.
I'll take this one, please.
But if you want, you could totally do a long-term project to develop that. So,
yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Wonderful. So yeah, I think, as you're sort of just like being aware that as you have tiered up, you're getting all this new gear. So as things are happening, if you want to sort of introduce that narratively, that's great. But otherwise, we are in downtime. Things are now happening. You get to do your downtime actions, and yeah, what is it that you guys want to do?
Can we go back to Aldo waking up before we get into downtime stuff?
Absolutely. I love it.
Bring him back.
Yes. So one day, Eckerd leaves the leaves the hut. He's headed out to get some food for the week, some groceries probably. Heads up into Charter Hall and is gone for a few hours. And around mid-morning, around 11:45, Aldo wakes up.
And I'll look around my surroundings. I'm in the hut, right?
You're in the hut. Yep. Derek the pigeon, it looks at you sort of surprisedly and begins cawing, sort of in your direction, like, "Oh, what's going on?" Looks concerned. He's like rattling against his cage a little bit, and you're remembering moments ago being in the garden and seeing the white gate in front of you, and a ghostly hand gripping onto your wrist and saying, "Be careful."
And immediately, just a moment of catching his bearings before he says, "Put me back," and then tries to attune again to get to the gate.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Very quickly. We'll see.
Yeah, make the roll. Yeah.
Can I? What trade position for effect?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You
He told
certainly
me to
can.
be careful, and I'm not. I don't really care.
You don't want to be careful. Yeah.
Okay, it is a literal one. So.
Ooh.
Okay.
So Aldo's like slipped off the bed, like you're still in in your like suspenders and pants, but just have an undershirt. You sort of get up. You're trying to like reach out towards the ghost field to feel that, because you've stepped through these curtains. You've never done this before, but you and Bram have both sort of stepped into this other world and
I
had
try the
these-
same thing again, where I'll like also whisper Danya's name to see if it will like launch me into it as well.
Yeah. So you speak her name, Danya, and then sort of try to press up against it, try to feel this, and you attempt to step into the garden back towards the white gate, and you feel it momentarily, and you feel this figure as if they're sort of reaching out to you, but there's no words from this figure, and then suddenly you sense the river all around you. You sense it like an artery, like it's a limb of yours. You sense it like the one like right next to where Eckerd's cemetery is. This is right at the southwestern edge of Charter Hall. You sense the deep water, and you sense the boats floating in it. And the water feels like sludge, like it's just tar. And at the bottom of it, you can sense all of the bodies beneath it. And as you are paying attention to them, you feel, but also sort of see one of the bodies at the bottom of the river stand up and look in your direction. And then another one in one of the other rivers, like nearby, stands up and looks in your direction. Their eyes are just like a blank white. And another one, until there's about 11 that are looking up in your direction. And you don't hear any words, but you just feel, you were utterly paralyzed for a moment. You feel this like darkness closing in around you, and the entire room becomes darker, and then it's over.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to put 2 ticks into The Hollow Hears You,
Oh boy.
which is going to finish that clock.
Oh boy.
So that was a clock that Bram had started in a previous session by
Yeah.
encountering something. So yeah, The Hollow Hears You. There is no immediate result.
Okay. But I'm back in the shack.
You are indeed back in the shack.
Okay, I think he immediately breaks down, like sobbing, before recognizing that he's here in this place, and starting to put together maybe a little bit of what may have happened. Obviously, he's been moved here before. He just gathers anything that looks like it's his and leaves ASAP. So
Out into the foggy afternoon of Doskvol.
yeah, just like wherever. And I think he heads straight to his house, and pulls out a small case from under his bed, long, thin, and skinny. This is part of tearing up maybe as well. And pulls out this case and hesitates for a moment before opening up, revealing a gleaming sword. A dueling sword that is engraved with these, kind of beautiful designs up the side of it to the top. And he will take it out and affix it to his person.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Does he like hefted it all? Does he sort of feel his stance out at all?
Oh, I mean, he full like Zelda's it, all right? He pulls the thing out. And I think there's hesitation to actually grab it and pull it out and to let it breathe the air. And he, it's wrapped, and he takes the wrapping off of it before he grabs it, and sort of, in a badassery, flaunting of deftness and skill, does just a test of it, and then we'll sheath it and get the sheath onto his belt.
Still got it.
Has he brought Derek with him, or is Derek with Eckerd now?
He just left. Derek, who's Derek? What are you talking about?
Oh,
This is-
Merrick.
Yes, Merrick. Oh my gosh.
Tip
There's a lot
your
of people,
hand.
I keep forgetting their names.
His name is Merrick, and he's different than Derek. Obviously, it's not the same Derek. Yeah. And so I think that'll be that. I think mechanically as well. I'll just now that Aldo's back, Eckerd is returned into the NPC core. So I won't play Eckerd if
Yes.
Aldo's alive.
You are Aldo. Great. I will play Eckerd if necessary, if called upon.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, that's great. And do you feel, Aldo? You were traumatized once before, and it was just this. You felt this coiling, frustration and need to do something. You felt like you just had to figure out, and this was back before we were streaming. It was back with Bram. You felt you had to figure this out, and it was just coiling inside you in this it was scratching at you, and just felt really constricting, and this increase of tension. And you don't feel that at all. You feel this hyper focus. You feel this looseness, and just the fact of having the sword at your belt just feels like there's a readiness, and you don't know what for exactly, but you sort of feel that underneath here. And you feel very rested. You feel all right.
So this was at the Queen's Magnolia in the basement.
I think he went home to Six Towers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get my sword. And then I think the next time you would see Aldo would just be everything looks normal. You know what I mean? Maybe you'd hear, I don't know. You might see him before Eckerd ever says anything.
Or what? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's.
Well, what I'm thinking is when you come back to the Queen's Magnolia, I think I'm there with these three dockers, who, and we're just laughing and passing a bottle. And what they're doing is I hired them to drain the water from the Queen's Magnolia. So I don't know. They're working with some sort of equipment or something to get it dry in here. I'm going through the process of turning this mud pit into
somebody cares.
More of a shit shack with a floor.
Yeah.
So so I'm going about that project and I'm just Aldo, hello, you're back. Hi.
Yes, hello Hix. This is a very, very good idea.
Yeah. Wow, Aldo, how are you?
I feel good. I feel very good, actually. Yes. It was a nice break, but I feel ready. I feel like I actually have a lot of ideas bouncing around. So definitely looking forward to getting back in there. It's a good idea, by the way. This is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aldo.
Was it
hold on. You don't have to You don't have to bullshit me.
What do you
It's
mean?
okay. Well, I mean, you're coming back here being like, let's go to work. Let's work. Let's work. And we work together, yeah, but I mean, we were all really worried about you. We were really worried, and I am legitimately checking if you are okay and if you are well. And listen, I'm willing to trust you if you say that you are taking care of yourself, and if you really mean that, and that's not just a lie that you're telling yourself and then telling me, but that you're really taking care of yourself. If you tell me that you are, then I will trust you with that. And we were really scared and really worried about you, although we care about you a lot and we love you more than just you're more than just our doctor and like exploder buddy. Like you're really part of our family, okay? And you coming back here with this like work, push, work, push energy is alarming to me, straight up. I'm like, I pass the bottle back to this docker.
Sort of takes it and goes back to like working with his bucket.
I'm like, don't worry about them. They're cool.
Hix, I really I appreciate your concern. It was not so long ago that you and I don't know. I didn't know how much you saw us as people, as friends, and not just I don't know, co-workers or at worst the means to an end. But I sincerely appreciate your concern, and I am sorry to have given anyone worry. And he'll approach and put a hand on your shoulder, but I feel like I know what to do. I feel like there's so much potential for us, for me. I do. I'm very excited, and I'll be okay.
Great. I'm so happy that you're back. I'll just hug him, give him a little kiss on the neck. And like, okay, cool. But yeah, and then I'll just explain what I'm gonna do with the Queen's Magno, and we can talk shop.
Awesome. I think he'll offer some ideas about it.
At this point, Bram comes in chewing on something, got a cigar in his hand, and he says, "Oh, you're alive. That's good. Did Hix tell you about he didn't give a fuck that you were alive? Did he tell you about that?"
That is actually the exact opposite of what he just said.
Hold on. What did you just say?
I look at Hix with a wry grin. No, you don't remember what you said.
I mean, I'd believe it. It's hard, Hix. You must understand.
Two of the people standing here right now were having a conversation about you, Aldo. One of them was very concerned. That person was not Hix.
Oh, no, I wasn't concerned. But I didn't.
I'm getting some mixed vibes from.
No, I mean what I am saying is that you obviously needed to lay down for a while.
It's not exactly what I was. I mean, I wasn't resting. I wasn't sleeping on the job or something.
No, you were just resting in your life, is what it seemed to me. And I was like, well, Aldo is learning his limits, I hope, was what I said. I look at Bram. That's what I said. I hope he's learning his limits.
Yeah, I hope he is too. Look back at Aldo.
Bram, can I speak to you for a moment? I just need some help in the lab.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I was going anyway.
I'll
Just leave.
Oh shoot! Oops. Okay.
The doctor's like, well, we'll see you later. Thanks. Take care.
Oops.
They're all just like working on clearing this out.
And I think
All right.
as you leave, I'll just yell. He's like, "Goodbye."
Aldo, goodbye.
Not to Bram. And he'll pull you straight into the into the shop.
You all right?
I'm fine. I found it. The white gate.
Hold on.
Found it.
You've been unconscious for how long? You don't even know, do you?
No, I don't. I mean, it felt like, just moments I was down there. But I don't know, how long has it been?
It's been days. It's been days, Aldo. Does that not give you any level of pause? Are you that fucked up that you can't learn how to stop when you should stop? I warned you, and you didn't listen to me.
But I found it. I found it. You did warn me, and I didn't listen. Because sometimes This is what I'm saying, Bram. You gave up. And so did I for a time. But this is...
I gave up.
Yes. And... I'm not giving up. Not again. And I didn't, and I found it. And I couldn't get through.
So, you found it or you couldn't get through? Which?
I found it, and then I couldn't get through. Something stopped me. It told me to be careful. It sounded a whole lot like you.
Yeah. Listen. I'm not saying we're not going to try again. And being cautious does not mean giving up. You of all people should understand that. A man with your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take our time.
Okay.
And I don't want you letting Hix whisper in your ear about this. All right? This is a separate project, and we don't involve them.
I agree with you.
Because if we go down, they better as fuck not follow us.
Yes. You promise we will try again, yes.
We'll try again. For now, take a fucking break.
Okay.
And I'll leave now.
Great. And although we'll immediately get to work on something.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
amazing. Is it a downtime action? Or are you
Yes,
working
it's a
project?
downtime action. And
Cool.
he pulls like a small case, just like small, and it's got like 12 vials of quicksilver in it. And he's gonna start on a project. I don't know exactly. I think he's gonna do some testing on something. And I'm sorry I don't have the exact nature of this, but I want
This
to.
is called the ideation phase.
Right.
That's right.
So can I put some slots
Yes,
into
put some
into
dots.
this?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will
Yep.
tinker then on this.
We'll call it Ghost Field Goop.
Yeah, Ghost Field Goop for now.
That'll be our.
Double fives.
Trisha's
So-
breakfast.
Amazing. So that's two ticks, but you with your power, you can
Mhm.
add more ticks.
Well, yeah, he
Right.
he's gonna alternate between 2 projects. This he's working on, and his second downtime action, which is he takes the glove that Bram pulled off of that anime lightning hand guy. Sorry, Ted. I love you.
This is correct.
Ted and I have a thing
anime is
where-
cool.
I know it is. I keep razzing about stuff, and it's a dumb joke. Anyway,
I love it.
and I think what he wants to do is reverse engineer this into something that isn't so clunky, but that potentially could just fit on the fingertips. So like something in a light load that somebody could grab somebody on the meat of their shoulder, perhaps, and have it work.
Yes, just zap him.
Aldo's back and shooting at everybody right now.
The freaking 3-way.
Grab your back, buddy. Grab your back.
Okay, so
This year going for the essential nature of the crew XP.
yeah, I will
Like
roll.
fighting, but we really love each other.
Yeah.
That's
I can't communicate it really.
That's a 6 on the other project.
Awesome. That's 3. Yeah. So we'll make them both 6-part projects since I don't know exactly what they are.
Yeah, and we can amend it. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's
what
great.
do you want, Carson? What do you want? Oh, you're building this lightning.
Make you
Yeah,
fancy
the lightning
glove,
thing,
yeah.
I do know what I want it to do.
Reduce.
So
glove.
you're using Quicksilver to tinker with that?
No,
Those
that's
are
2
the 2
projects.
Yeah, Quicksilver is one thing.
I
Not sure what that's
see.
going to
You're gonna take a break, huh?
be.
I'm gonna start 2 long-term projects today.
Immediately.
Like the dockers are like at one point they're like, can we come in here? And you're like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
gotta clean.
I'll be out of here before long. It's like 7 hours before he
Yeah,
goes out
yeah.
for some food.
Yeah, it's like they come back. Yeah, they come back many hours later and like, would you mind?
Okay.
I'm
fine.
feeling attacked. I feel attacked.
Just
Take
a
a
little
break,
bit.
Graham.
Just a little bit.
Why is that, Grant? This isn't deliberate.
no. Long-term projects that you say will take 5 minutes and take 7 hours.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh wow.
That's the name of my autobiography.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I would like to catch up with Hix, if possible.
Great.
Yeah.
I'd like to
I
watch
don't know,
this.
strolling through the street,
Yeah.
smelling the wind or something.
I'm like a block away and I say, "Hi, Hix."
I turn around. Bram, hi. Coming
The
in
hell-
here and kicking up some shit, are you?
I didn't kick up anything.
No?
What the hell are you doing?
What the hell am I doing? What?
I caught the tail end of your conversation.
Oh yeah, so now you know the balance of it, huh?
So you're dancing around, Aldo.
Dancing around all the what are you saying? Can you speak plainly?
I heard you tell him all about how concerned you were. Making sure he's all right. Coming from the person who said that we should leave him alone in a coma. You don't remember that?
Bram, what are either you or me gonna do for him when he's in a coma? Huh? Should we take turns sitting by his bedside holding his little hand?
Yeah, I
Is
did
that
my
what
fucking
you
fair
and me
share
or
of that. I
Varric?
did. You weren't there.
Okay.
So don't come in here acting like you're some mother hen looking after us all. All right, we know what you are.
You know, Bram, I want you to consider for a moment that maybe you don't.
Now, maybe I don't.
Do you have a problem with me?
I just don't like someone who says one thing and does another. I may be a piece of shit, but I know I am, and I say it.
I didn't lie to Aldo.
Then you lied
I
to
love
me.
Aldo very much. I don't have to prove this to you. I
No,
had my
yeah.
say when we talked about this before. I think he needed to take a rest. I was, of course, upset that he was in a coma. but me fretting over it is not going to help any situation whatsoever. Now he's back. If he had died, it would have been something else, but he's back now.
Yeah, lucky for you. And I walk away. Love you, Ben.
Okay,
right.
now Varric and the girl, you fight.
It's my green safety tool.
Yeah.
You're related to who?
I'm holding my green one.
So, yeah, what is the girl up to in the next few days following the thing?
Well,
Or-
the next day I would actually like to find Aldo just to keep Carson in the mix here.
yeah.
But I
Yes.
will try and like go to his workshop.
Okay.
One of Hix's urchins perhaps has alerted me that he's back.
that all does that, yeah. Great, I love it.
And as she enters, presuming Aldo is there, Carson, at the workshop still, perhaps?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was a fair assumption to make. So
think
she does the thing where she kind of like bursts in, like takes a few excited steps forward and then like pauses, like her impulse was to hug him, but then there's sort of something holding her back. You're back. You're alive.
I mean, I didn't die. I guess it's the definition of being alive.
That's a weird thing to say, but
Yes, it is. Sorry, I've been in here a little while today. Do you want to perhaps? I was just about to go get something. Believe it or not, I need to eat sometimes, and well, Bram and Hix told me to take a break, so. There's like stuff all over this room, by the way. It's like you guys clean it up while he was asleep, and it's just like.
sure. Perhaps we could get some Catalani food, or
Absolutely, I would love that.
Mm.
You've had the chicken, yes? You came with us.
yes, I did. I thought it was good.
It's you don't have to. I mean, I'm not the one cooking it.
All right. Well, I thought it was okay then. I didn't see what the
honest-
fuss was about.
Me too, but it's still good. Let's go. And I think we'll
Right.
continue our conversation there if you want.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, so you head
Do you have
across
more to
to
say? Yeah.
you head across the Six Towers and have some chicken at the it's this place in the Stink Bloom where they're selling all these mushrooms. Anyway, yeah, you sit
Mhm.
down and you see those same gray cloaked men who have been running it, who you get a sense are a criminal crew of their own.
Mm.
But suddenly, with your like new gear and new weapons, I don't know what the girl's what her tier up has looked like, but suddenly they just don't seem that threatening anymore. They don't seem as they seem like you're maybe more on even footing with these guys now.
Thanks.
You seem energized, better than I thought you'd be, honestly.
Yes.
And as they walk, you see her sort of shift her weight lower. Her voice maybe drops down a little bit and she starts speaking slightly more slowly. She's becoming Tess Buck, who you have said you preferred.
Oh, jeez. And as you start to take on Tess, he'll say, let's see, so speaking with
Tess. I thought you preferred Tess.
I'll be honest with you, I preferred Tess because I thought Tess was you, but you are very good at what you do.
Oh, I mean, I think you might be fundamentally confused about, well, perhaps the same fundamental confusion I have. It's a lot of pressure to know who you are, isn't it?
Yes,
Mm.
I suppose it is. But I don't have the skills to become someone else, so I'm sort of stuck with me.
Everyone could become someone else. You just have to want to. Try. Varric does it all the time.
To varying success, I might I might point out.
That's true, but he is working on it at least.
He is indeed.
Hmm.
I am curious though. What? I'm sorry, that sounds. I enjoy talking with you because even with all of the, I don't know, there's a lot less. How shall I put this? You're not an asshole, like some of the others, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I think.
Yes, I mean yes. It is a compliment.
Speaking of someone in particular?
Oh, I mean you've obviously met Hix. You've obviously met Bram, yes. And well, if I'm being completely honest, you've met me maybe at the wrong time, maybe.
Oh, you're all a bunch of assholes.
Oh, now,
But I am
on.
fond of you. I think maybe at some point we've sat down, we're
yeah.
eating some chicken,
Mhm.
and Aldo, I understand you have certain skills I haven't yet utilized. I haven't needed to yet.
Sort of like.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed the limp.
Oh,
But my ankle's a little.
I thought you meant the. No, okay. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Yes.
Not that I'm not pleased to see you. Not that I, don't enjoy your company. I don't want you to think you're just a tool I am using.
That's okay, of course. No. I would love to. Well, I mean, I could take a look at it here if you're not too, bashful about such things, or we could, go back and look at it in private.
She'll pull up her skirt and slap her ankle sort of on the table.
Great.
One of these ones. And it's badly sprained. A little on the same leg, a little further up. There's a wound. A bullet has been removed from it poorly.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm also feeling a little funny in the head. Anything you can do about my many ailments?
No, we will need to go back to the lab for some of this. In this, and he's just gonna like straight up bend the ankle like back and forth. This hurts, yes?
Oh! I mean, not to the left. Maybe it hurts a little more
Like
that
this?
way. Ah!
Okay.
Aldo, please.
It's part of the process. Who is the doctor here? And then we'll kind of sort of kind of inspect the rest. Okay, let's go back. I don't have what I need to fix this. Looks like you got yourself in a bit of trouble. I thought it was supposed to be just a simple party.
Well, the bullet is old, if it counts for anything. The party. Oh, Aldo, I wish you were there. It was fine. Lots of masks. I liked that, frankly. Also, Bram was on a roof at some point, and someone jumped off of it. It was seemed uncharacteristic, but
Exit in Aldo's memory bank. Well, truthfully, I am glad I missed it. Sometimes, at those high class affairs, I don't know, the wrong kinds of people that I don't want to run into,
It didn't seem like your friend had very much fun.
I'm gonna take it as if he knows that Eckerd stepped in
Sure.
and has
Yeah,
not
however you-
By the way.
mentioned it to
I wouldn't have
anybody.
told him.
Oh, you didn't tell him?
No, God, no.
Would anyone have told him, I guess?
I don't know.
I'll tell you right now if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
I
telling
would have
you.
if we had a
Okay.
conversation, but
She's spilling the beans, I think.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
She's
Yeah.
spilling it.
My friend, like, Varric,
Eckerd, with you down, we thought another person on the crew might be good.
why Eckerd?
Well, I don't know.
Wait, like
I mean,
he came with you to the party?
yes, he's
He didn't have a mask. How would it?
Oh, he used your mask. You have roughly the same head girth. I just had to adjust a couple of the ribbons.
The head girth, yes, roughly the same head girth.
Roughly the same head girth.
Mm. Why did he? Did he?
Oh.
Why is?
When you were in the coma, I mean, he was just.
I was.
He was there. He seemed.
And why would he do that? I mean, he didn't. I hope you didn't talk. He's like at a loss for this. This world is colliding. Don't he? I'm sure. Whatever. He's. Honestly, I'm surprised you. You shouldn't trust him. You shouldn't talk to him.
I mean, he seemed quite nice, clumsy. He stepped on my sister's gown, but nice.
Sure. I'm sure. He.
What is the relationship between you two?
Just a person I know from my past.
I mean, we all know that much.
Yes, and I don't know if there's much more to say about it. I mean, you're the very person who's telling me I can be whatever I want, right? Well, I want to be somebody that does not associate with him. What's wrong with that?
Oh, sweetie, darling, there's nothing wrong with that. And then she'll sort of drop into a different character because mostly because she's annoyed. Like she's doing this like to annoy Aldo.
Mhm.
Oh, darling, it's okay. Of course, you don't have to say anything to your friends that you don't want to. It's not like vulnerability or intimacy is a part of maintaining a friendship at all. Darling, darling.
And this is when we're sitting and I'm setting your ankle. And I'm like, "Kirk," and like give it a good crack and set it. I'm doing good work, but I'm not going to be gentle about it.
Let's get that roll, by the way.
Sure.
See how the healing goes.
Here's your healing. I can't believe you. Okay, it's a 6.
Okay, so that's three ticks in the clock.
Okay.
Where does
so
that put you?
That fills up the clock and then +1.
Yes, awesome. So you
Okay.
get to keep that towards the next movement.
Okay.
The level 1 harm goes away. Both of the level 2s become level 1. So now those are reduced effects. So you have a slightly hurt ankle and the bullet wound. Those are the 2 that are still extant. Is that right?
Yes, those are the 2 that are still extant.
He'll dress him up. He'll do all that he can with it. But it is a definitely not a gentle hand.
Yeah, not tenderly done. Great. Yeah, is there any more interaction in this, or is this just kind of end on this moment of tension?
I think when he finishes, he'll be like, I appreciate you coming to see me today. And he'll like open the door and politely ask him to leave. Or not politely ask, but just wait.
Thanks so much, sweetheart. And she'll pat him on the cheek, still annoyed, and march out on her still slightly hurt ankle.
Ooh.
He slams the door.
Oh. So over these days, you all hear some rumors, things happening in the city as you're all bickering with each other. So there are in the papers numerous write-ups of the masked ball that occurred at Fillmore Manor. There are sketches of dresses and their descriptions of anecdotes that abound throughout it. They're featured. They discuss some of the favorite masks of the party, and the girl's mask is featured in one of the newspapers. With the reveal
for
of
good
Mira.
reason. It was a good
was cool.
mask.
So there's but there it's mentioned that they try to keep it anonymous, but a lot of the entries in this paper have hints of who they think the person probably was. But this one, we're like, we don't even know who this young lady is.
Join the club, newspaper.
She wears masks with us too.
I love it.
There are also several articles dedicated to the sad fate of Thurgood Rathsbane, who proposed to Juliana Fellmore at length on the dance floor, expressing the symbolism of a brooch he was about to give her, but who then discovered to his shame that he had misplaced it and had to leave before an answer from her could be given.
No, his shame was when he began to describe this brooch beforehand. You need to speak for the brooch that you're going to give her, then you've already lost, man. Just go home.
You're done. It's over at that point. In other news, the Velvet Patchworks' latest play, The Forgotten District, sparked an outrage among the spirit wardens who condemned it as promoting heretical ideas.
Oh, we're going.
After opening night, the play has moved from the histrion and its performance locations are now undisclosed.
Because the church cops dressed in iron are going to bust in.
Immersive.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But the show must go on. Like, I want to go to this secret show. Like, I was uninterested until now.
Yes.
Illegal play. We have to watch it.
Another a bit more of intense news. Several railjacks were arrested for conspiracy to murder. Pike Renford, Elias and Val Chain, and a half dozen others. Numerous voices across the city are demanding that they be tried and executed, given the clear evidence that the Ministry of Preservation has done nothing wrong and that they were responsible for the death of the ministry official who was beheaded. A group of factory workers in Coleridge, however, went on strike in solidarity with the railjacks. They blocked off the factory doors, wearing red paper masks to hide their identities. They're still striking now.
I know who that is.
Yo.
Yeah. The Assembly is in an uproar after these events. The Progress Consortium is fighting for the ministry's rights and opposes the laborers' actions, but the Conservation Salon is split. The Rejuvenators wish to consider the issue, and Robert Boom has expressed his support for the strikers. He made a public statement saying, "They could just blow up the fucking building if they wanted to, that way they don't have to keep standing in front of the door."
They were elected for a reason.
There's our man.
The Bluecoats continue to hunt
Crazy.
for the Bluecoats continue to hunt for a mysterious smuggling crew who they are calling the Orcas. They arrested a young man, a member of the Cobwebs gang, who said he was beaten by a woman boxer who works for the Orcas. But he's not giving too much information to them. They just sort of
So,
want
like,
to,
the Cobwebs are calling us the Orcas. We're going to let, like, the we are a subsidiary, an unnamed subsidiary of the Ravens, goddammit, and I aim to prove it. I'm
We're
gonna
the
go
Pygmy
beat
Ravens.
the shit out of this dude in the Cobwebs. And I only know Rec. I don't even put points in skirmish.
Oh man. So yeah, those are your rumors for this downtime.
Okay.
So what's else going on downtime action wise? So we got a healing action from the girl. We have 2 long-term projects from Aldo. What else is going on? Girl, do you have another downtime action that you think, or do you want to hop popcorn to somebody else for a bit?
I'll popcorn because I'll hop. I want to relieve stress, but I'll hop on someone else's relieving stress, perhaps.
Yeah. What are other people up to? No. We don't
What are
call
you
on
up to,
anybody.
Varric? What are you cooking up over there?
Yeah, I would like to relieve some stress. And to do that, I would like to find the girl and take her to a fancy uptown restaurant. But this time, Varric very deliberately, because last time he was trying to quiz you guys all on how to behave in high society, he's going to deliberately just sit down in front of you and sort of fold his arms and look to see how you react to kind of the finery around you.
So the girl sitting perfectly upright, knowing exactly which fork to use. She'll ask, and are you paying?
Of course, I wouldn't invite you out here with the intention of splitting the bill. Gentlemanly.
Well, in that case, I'll take. And Ted, what would be the most expensive item on this menu?
Yes.
There's probably boar.
The
Yeah.
roasted boar? Then?
Excellent choice. Excellent. Yes. One roasted boar and the salad.
Yep. So, Varric, you are brought a bowl of wilted graying leaves with a grape, and girl, you are brought several cuts of roasted boar. Or how are you having them?
Oh, very bloody.
Okay.
Is that the question?
No, they'd be more
Yes,
bloody.
that is the
Unless
question.
the boar of
yes.
Doskvol are different
No.
than the
Yes.
boar of Earth.
Yeah, no, it's very, very bloody. Yeah, so it's just like
Love
yeah,
it.
the whole. It's like a sauce of it in the bottom of the.
I really
also-
don't
they
think
also-
boar works like steak, but yeah.
Oh yeah, probably not. Whatever.
In Doskvol, it's different.
Yeah.
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 Because if it's bloody on Earth, you'll get worms.
Then it is not bloody, but it's very pink. And there's a potato puree and stuff. It's nice.
No, we didn't get a chance to debrief after the masquerade. I caught sight of you a couple of times around the place, but we didn't get to chat. You ever met my friend Kyrol Fairwind?
Well, I met him that night, and I suppose I've seen him around. He's a little hard to miss.
Yes, he is quite a character, isn't he? You know, he danced with Miss Cleon that night.
Valerie.
Yes. Do you know Valerie, by any chance?
Yes. Do you know Valerie by any chance?
Do I know Valerie?
Mm.
I think you'll find we all know each other in certain circles.
Oh, do you? And you remember all of your childhood acquaintances? Or...
I think it would be quite unusual for me to forget the face of a childhood friend.
Hmm. She takes several bites of her boar. She's enjoying it immensely. How's your
But-
salad?
It's unseasoned. So if there was a chance, perhaps, that I knew someone in my youth that I don't anymore, that person would have had to have disappeared entirely from my social circles and almost never to be spoken of again. Right?
Oh, I mean, you tell me. I mean, I suppose that must be the case if you don't recall them at all.
But
Perhaps if they had witnessed me making a fool of myself numerous times, perhaps they took it on themselves to break me out of my ignorance and lift the veil from my eyes.
Are you trying to ask me a question, Varric?
Yes. Are you Valerie's little sister?
I mean, I was, yes. At one point in my life, I was Valerie's little sister.
And you let me parade you around and try to show you how the knives and the forks are laid out and how to talk to people.
You would have remembered me then as... Oh, dear. Bella. Bella Cleon.
Bella Cleon.
If you want to make a study roll, you can see what you might recall about her,
Yeah, let's do that.
or a survey or something.
Let's see what I actually can. No, study is better. I will study.
Awesome.
Four is my highest.
Great. You recall that Valerie Cleon had a younger sibling, and there were a few moments where you got to meet the Cleons. They were once part of the conservation salon, Hannah's father, but Hannah has since moved to the Progress Consortium, so there's sort of a split in your friendship at that point because of political differences. But you remember, and Kristin, tell me if there's anything else that he would remember.
Yeah.
You remember that it was well known that, and this is probably the reason you forgot her, that Bella, Valerie's sister, did not speak. No one ever knew her to talk. She was extremely quiet, withdrawn.
What? I remember seeing you around at events, but you never talked to me, did you?
I didn't talk to anybody back then.
And then, what? You ran away?
I mean, would you like the whole story?
Only if you want to share it. I mean, I have to say, it feels as though you've been leading me around for quite some time.
I didn't mean to lead you around, Varric. That was a long time ago, and I'm hardly that person anymore, so...
Well,
in some ways, I'm not sure how relevant it really is.
Well, I mean, I'm hardly the same person I was then either. I think it's good for us to see each other face to face as we are, not who we used to be.
I remember you as a little shit, but Valerie had quite a crush on you.
Did she?
Did you not know? I thought it was quite obvious.
I mean, well, one always hopes. Valerie. Well, some of my life choices are starting to look a little worse at the moment. That's news, but I'm sorry I never asked about what happened to you. I remember you as a child, and then hearing nothing. I think I just assumed you sent away or died or something.
I mean, how many rich kids did we know that got sent away to schools for behaving badly?
Is that why you were somewhat reluctant to join in with our trip to my society?
Oh, partly. Partly, I'm also just aware that our crew's gaining a reputation, and while I think Hix is pleased, I didn't mind being more under the radar. Not shooting police officers in the face.
I'm very glad that none of that happened. No one shooting anyone in the face.
Oh, well, Bram did try, but so not for lack of trying.
Well, I wanted to take you out to dinner just for the sake of giving us proper introductions again.
Well,
Friends.
old friends then. It's cheers.
Can I indulge my vice doing that? All right.
Yes, absolutely. Please do it. I muted myself. I never do that. Sorry.
I would also love to indulge my vice, which means I need to, or maybe I'll invite Varric afterwards for old time's sake.
You could
perhaps.
play it. You could play a theater goer. Sorry. Never mind.
Play a theater goer.
If you want to. As in, you
Well,
could go see the play.
Yeah, I
And
see what
have
you're
indulge your
saying.
vice
And
in it.
indulge my vice and see the play. Okay.
Yes. I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want. You were going to do something for old time's sake. Do that.
I mean, we could see a play together.
I love watching plays.
I know you do. And as a member of the Velvet Patchworks, I know how to find access to the hottest ticket in town. I would, right, Ted? That's fair to
Oh,
say.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
How many comps do you
see the
get?
Forgotten District?
The very same. Yes. We should go. Perhaps we should get the rest of our crew.
Yes,
So-
all right.
So the process of getting to the show, you notice that the posters have been have used a strange ink. It's sort of glossy and weird, and you don't make much of it by sort of daytime and sort of the overcast days of Duskfall. But when evening comes, and if you take just a little bit of Quicksilver, suddenly that ink becomes luminescent, and you take it and follow the posters, which have arrows leading you through the neighborhood of Six Towers. And as you follow it, you find your way to some catacombs beneath Six Towers, a place where the walls are sort of bone-like, like the Paris catacombs. And there's an open chapel down there that is subterranean, now subterranean. It was part of the ancient city, and the rest of the city was sort of built up around it. You all, if you're all heading to the play,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
arrive and reach it, and take your seats in time for us to take a short break and then come back with a play, which we will be presenting to you. Fair audience, this play has been written. I wrote this play. All of the actors will be playing the characters in it. It is 6 pages long. It is very short, but it is a history of the Forgotten District, written by Medley, Everett, playwright. So with that, we will take our break and we will be back shortly.
Yay.
Woo! Welcome back to the Contraband. Everyone is here at the Velvet Patchworks play in the catacombs underneath 6 towers. There are people selling Quicksilver outside. Like, you know, this is partially like, honestly, turns out to be a great marketing thing for them that their play has become kind of forbidden, because the way to get there is you have to buy their product in order to get in, just and even to get there to read the way. So a lot of the people who you see coming in already have the sort of ghostly glow and a little smoke coming out of the edges of their eyes to indicate that they've been using Quicksilver. Everybody heading in, you see there's a big crowd gathering, and people are really excited. There's the hubbub of the sort of forbidden play. You all gather. There's a stage area, a large sort of open part of a church. There's this domed rooftop, part of which has been collapsed by like a piece of architecture jutting through it, a foundation of another building that's been built on top of it. But candles light the entire space. There is a large fire burning sort of back where the organ would have been back in the day, and there's someone who's using a large metal pan as a spotlight to reflect the light of that fire into the room. Yeah.
I was gonna say, as we enter and find our seats, I'm not sure exactly where we're sitting, but I think all this will sit down with probably Hix or whoever else is around and offer him some Quicksilver he bought, as well as take some himself.
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
I don't fuck with ghost shit. Not anymore.
Ooh.
The camera pans to Bram, and he's like,
Amazing. Does anybody else take any Quicksilver? Varric, girl?
Yeah, when in Rome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think this is the 2 clicks. This would be the long-term project where I'm testing out Quicksilver in ways I hadn't before. Because last time we came here, I didn't take any. I actually told Hix not to. But
Yes, I remember that.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about it. Mechanically, I want that to be the narrative. This
I love
is the
it.
part
That's
of the project.
Is this experimental Quicksilver?
Oh no, this is the good stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Made by your friends the Railjacks.
Made them. Yeah, I inspected it.
Is the girl taking any?
Yeah, she'll take some too.
Well, so what you all feel is this teetering edge of a roller coaster feel. There's like edge of the about to go over the precipice. Just this sort of fear that underlies a little bit and has an excitement attached to it. And you can sense, like above the city, there are a few ghosts milling about, at a great distance from you, but you just can sense them. You're slightly aware of them. Meanwhile, the actors take their places, and girl, you're able to see some of your costumes, and you're noting people, and you're noting the guy who's wearing his hat backwards, and the one who's got the ones that the one that you really are proud of, like the one that you really had the budget for, because they didn't give you enough budget to make them all good, so you chose the one that you cared about. So you can tell afterwards, once we go through the play, you can tell us what the moments were, if there are any that you think of, like, oh, this is where the girl did this or whatever. So there's an announcement that is made by Theodore, the producer of the Velvet Patchworks, who commands everyone very wryly that everyone is quite sinful for being here and should not tell anyone about what they've seen, for fear of the wrath of the spirit wardens, to laughs from the bohemian audience. But then many of the candles are snuffed, those in the audience, and in the pews, I guess. And then I will be reading the stage directions. The Forgotten District, a play by Medley, Everett. A shadowy king steps forward from the dark.
These shortages of oil do force our hand. We have not power enough to stay the ghosts. The walls, they stretch too far and waste our strength. Therefore, my lords, narrow the city's eye, cut off a portion from the lightning fence, evacuate all who do live therein, and let the phantoms reign there in the dark, where once were grand estates and flowering parks. And though this act will mark me ever cruel, with it we save ourselves and precious fuel.
The king has spoken. Power down the wall. People of Hilltop District, flee or die, for all the dead shall claim your home tonight.
He wrings his hands and exits. In darkness, we hear a great commotion. There are desperate screams. Fires flicker on the horizon. Waters slap against the sides of boats. A gruff and pockmarked ferryman rocks on the waves in a small dinghy.
What ho?
Boatman! Fair boatman, hear us!
Fair in look or fair in commerce?
Your beauty's as the rain on farmer's crop, a horror made divine by circumstance.
How honest for a man about to die.
I pray thee pardon my sardonic tongue. In this I hope to prove sincerity, for 'tis no simple boon I ask of thee. A woman great with child, with speed doth come, or as much speed as doth befit her state. My wife, thou canst imagine, in all but name, and in her grows the fruit of our great flame.
Thy metaphors are mixed.
And time is short. What chargest thou the passage?
What's thou got?
A dozen silver here within my palm, but only if you'll come retrieve my wife.
Dozen silvers, all she's worth to thee.
Good sir, I think this patch over your eye doth blind you to the circumstance at hand. The lightning wall that guards us from the dead has been extinguished with no warning cry. From hilltops glowing mansions at the height to basest river slums, all flee at once. Within this eaves a span a flood arrives. Not void sea salt, not rivers rolling back, but hungry azure spirits from the black. The dead, you know, are all bereft of sense. Though some do speak, they speak not but offense, and no human compassion there remains.
You rehearse this city's ancient pains. I need no schoolman's lecture on the matter. I see even now the district is aglow with feral spectres.
Will you take my case? Fair boatman, will you save us and our child?
Blackout. Elsewhere, a pregnant woman hobbles down a street, alongside terrified citizens running with suitcases, carrying furniture. Chaos.
Fear not, my pumpkin, sleep, my swallowtail. Thou needst not pirouette within the womb. Oh, curse the bandying fool who made me thus. I love thee, Ness, forever you'll be mine. He charmed with lute and song and bubbling wine. Little knew he of what forever means. Oh, I must sit. Oh, here, a bench. Oh, gods! Surely my husband shall return, and soon. Till then, I can a moment rest my head. What, ho? My turnip, do you jump again? What dreaming troubles you? Let me caress. Couldn't be your sense this evil night's distress?
Enter a madman.
Oi, lady, stay not here.
Art thou a ghost?
Thou canst not rest here. Stand, be gone, away. For none who stay shall live to see the day. Oh, iron hooks shall grasp them tight, and salt shall fill their mouths. Worse rain than this, with poison's bite, shall pour down from the clouds.
Foretell you of this night?
No prophecy. Behold, above, at Hilltop's glittering peak, the cobalt crescent pouring over walls. 1,000 ghosts, 1,000 wrathful mouths.
I have not strength to flee, good fervent sir. A time will come for alls. Perhaps 'tis mine.
Enter a spectre.
It comes!
My children, my home, my hands.
The madman and the pregnant woman freeze in fear. Blackout. In the basement of a hilltop mansion, 3 whispers are seen.
Are we all met?
There cries and wails outside.
I have ears also. Help me with this tome.
They heft a great heavy book into place and hold it open. Enter the 3rd whisper.
The seals will hold.
This are we assured.
Have faith, good cousin. All shall soon be well, and we'll touch heaven from this sordid hell. Have you the blood, good sir?
Yea, here it is.
Now, let us humbly pray. Ye gods, or whate'er lies beyond this sphere, regard thy faithful here within this shrine. Long have we prayed to call thee to this place, and now by chance thy judgment draweth nigh. Great salt-born one, great kraken of the deep, Leviathan, whose blood both saves and kills. Rise now and slay our enemy, the king. Rise now and give us riches and rewards. Rise now and all thy promises fulfill.
Rise now. Rise now. Rise now.
Silence.
Dost thou hear it? Are those ocean waves?
I hear nothing.
Hark.
A pause. Then a rush against the door. Noise.
Gods!
Fear not. Our master comes for us, astride a watery phalanx all his own. He'll take the ancient willows on the hill, the flowers and garden gates he will all drown.
First whisper opens the door. Ghosts enter.
These fools were singing.
Now their songs shall cease.
Our God shall save us.
Look on me, good man. Your gods are not the whale and not the wave, nor sacred families scribed on every grave. The king and his false priesthood is your god, counseled by devils from your industries, and in their godly wrath they've shown their love, abandoned your estates, forced you to flee. No god shall come to save you, no machine. If anything will save you, 'tis unseen.
It speaks!
Some ghosts are known to speak, but all are mad. Believe not in their zeal.
Come, brother, I am ready for our meal.
Blackout. Another scene follows with the ferryman and the husband. Finally convinced, the ferryman goes in pursuit of the wife with the husband, but they cannot find her. They're surrounded by ghosts in the district, and the ferryman sacrifices himself to allow the husbands to escape. This sacrifice, however, is in vain, as the husband, too, is consumed by ghosts.
Oh, jeez.
Savage Medley.
In epilogue, the wife appears on a boat.
You think me dead, it seems, from all your looks. And so I thought myself for many hours. How I escaped, I cannot truly tell. For it did seem a guide beyond my kin did show me to avoid the phantom's grasp. Perhaps 'tis you, my poppy seed, my dove, who sense the darkness and can flee its power. The boat's engine is dead, its oars both lost. So now I drift along the river mist, and watching all before me come to view, I find the dead less fearful than the rest. What man with conscience could so carelessly abandon those within his custody? Even the gods, who left us in this hell, gave us the power of lightning and of oil to save the ones we loved if we had wit. If crown is God, then God is counterfeit. But oh, these cries mean nothing in the mist. If there is fate, and I pray it exists, then bring some justice on this cowardice. Remember us, and all who are powerless.
Fade to black.
Oh, Ted Bushman.
I think at one point Aldo leans over to Bram as the ferryman speaking, and it's like, was this the one you auditioned for?
I was playing that bloke at the beginning with the bad cockney.
As they're talking, like Hix is like wrapped watching and goes, shh.
Bastard took my part.
He's trying to be you.
Well, yeah. At the end, Bram is standing
Dang.
Shia LaBeouf clapping in the. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful! Yep, everyone comes forward. There's bows. Few people, some people standing, some people not. Lots of shouts of whenever the friend comes up and yeah, Medley, and like people throw some flowers. Some friends of hers. So yes, the play is finished. Yeah, what do you guys do afterwards? Do you talk to anybody? What happens?
Let me ask: is there an effect from the Quicksilver other than the obvious, like, how it enhances the play as we watch?
Yeah.
What's that like from our perspective?
Yeah, you're so you have a better sense of the ghost field. It'll be easier. So any attunement actions would be increased in effect from using Quicksilver, which is pretty legit. So yeah, that's sort of the general thing. Is there something else that you're looking for in terms of like it doesn't hurt you or anything?
Right, but as we're watching, I imagine we can kind of sense a little bit of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Bram has a look in his eye, a look of acquiescence to Aldo.
Oh.
I mean, I probably took like 3 times the amount of Quicksilver. I'm being reckless, and I'm also like spiraling into a indulge vice here.
Ooh, cool. All right, sweet. Awesome.
Yep.
But we can do that after everyone else. I don't want to.
I know.
Sure.
It's like,
Spiral, baby. Take us there.
Spiral it up.
I mean, unless you're gonna party foul and make everyone leave. Maybe if anyone wants to talk to someone, they should do that first. I mean, knowing how you get your kicks, maybe
everyone get their dialogue in before Bram indulges his.
Yeah.
So Epila Sour, the large, this big, powerful woman, she played the king. She comes up to the girl and says, "Mary Beth, how are you? It's so good to see you." And she gives you a big embrace.
Doing wonderfully. I noticed Jack was wearing his belt, not the belt I picked out for him.
He said he didn't like the color. He said it was too...
Well, tell him that the costume designer knows a little bit more about color theory and what goes on stage than he does. If you would.
I will make sure that he knows. Yes. It's I'm very sorry. He's new. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see if he's on the rest of the season.
Is Medley around?
Of course, yes. And she's, Medley's talking to some friends, very animatedly, but then sort of waves to them and heads back towards the vestibule of the church that they're, housed in.
I would like to try and talk to her and cut her off.
Yeah, you head back. Medley's pretty short. She's about 5'2". She, is back there, and there's some candles lit around the place where her costume's hung, and it smells funky back here from all these actors changing and sweating. And she says, "Oh, hello, Mary Beth. How are you?"
Good. I got to see it tonight. I mean,
I'm so glad.
The full thing. It looks good, Medley.
Oh, glad to hear it. Yeah, well, we're really surprised. Honestly, the response has been really good. I mean, I'm just riding the high. Theodore's thinking about all sorts of problems and worrying about it, but and the sales are good too. I mean, not that matters, but we may have a little bit more for you. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Medley, I know in the course of rehearsals we've all had to move so quickly, but I was really wondering where you got your research on the Lost District from. They're saying it's heretical.
Oh, well, I think they don't understand why they think it's heretical. I think they just want to dislike it, because some people are citing the scene with the Kraken god worship as if we're encouraging that, but nobody believes that. I made that up. There's no Kraken thing. And But I think the real reason they're mad is because it's anti-crown.
Well, that does make sense.
Yeah, they just want to. Anyway, but I mean, I'm happy to be controversial. I'm glad that people are paying attention enough to be angry at it. But as to the research, I read some of the public record that I could find. Yeah, I learned a bit about all those hilltop mansions. There were so many of them. It was a really wealthy district, you know, and it's just wild to think that it happened, 2 decades ago. Less. Yeah, why? Is there something particular we don't have a dramaturg on this, obviously, but do you? Is there something research-wise that we should have reconsidered?
Oh, I know nothing about about anything except costumes. But I suppose I'm just curious. I mean, it's like you said, it's a curious event, and it happened so recently. None of the characters are based on any records, specifically the pregnant woman, perhaps.
Oh well, I mean, there are certainly stories of the people who got out. Most of them are the wealthy folk who could get out fast enough, and the ferryman, he's based off of this real thing that happened where there was all these people who came and charged as much as they could to get people to cross. And so there are all these people who died because the ferrymen were trying to get as much money as they could. And so the rich were able to get across. There were a number of pregnant women who came across and whose husbands didn't make it. Yeah, it's chilling, really.
Just wondering. I'll let you finish getting undressed. Don't forget to hang up all the parts of your costume, and tell the others no crumpling them into a ball or anything.
Yeah, we'll get Jack's been running out of here trying to party with his friends. I'll get him to do it. I've got this book if you would want to look at it. Just a compilation of some of the histories. I took a lot of it from oral histories, tried to, just because people haven't written much about it. The Crown doesn't want too much to be said.
I would love a book. Thank you so much.
Sure, yeah. She gets it at this kind of wide, weird little book, red cover, medium thickness. She gives it to you. Yeah, there you go. Get it back to me at some point, I guess. I stole it from the archives, and I'm probably not going to give it back, so no urgency, I guess.
Well, property is theft, so cheers. And I'll
cheers to that.
And I'm gonna catch Varric before I leave too, really fast, and just sort of grab his arm, perhaps as he's sort of moving away. Varric.
Yes.
So nice to meet an old friend. That's a rather painful part of my life, and I'm not that scared little girl anymore, is all.
So, I perhaps shouldn't begin calling you Bella.
Oh, well, if the name fits, sometimes I can slip into that, but and for a second you see there's a lot of things kind of dropping away, and there's just an 18-year-old girl who looks very young and looks very vulnerable, and she just says, I was really used as a prop by Hannah, and didn't have my voice, quite literally. It's a painful thing for me to recall, and I think I would prefer if the others don't know the specifics of who I was back then.
I'm gonna try to go in for a hug if you wanna avoid anyway.
It's gonna be the thing where it's very stiff initially, and then it softens just a little bit. And there's like one breath in and out, and like, okay, that's enough.
I'll let go and just be like, your secret's safe with me whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Varric. And then all the guards will come back up. She'll
There she is again.
So the play was surprisingly good. So
Yes. I thought, I don't know if you agree, it seemed ominous that everyone died, eventually.
ominous, yes. What did you get that the pregnant woman was dressed in white? Did you get that was symbolism? White, get it?
Oh,
white.
right.
Mhm.
The white. Was that your doing?
That was my doing.
There's a lot more to this costume design than I thought initially. I just thought you had to be like, well, they're the king, so he needs a crown. And that one's the gravedigger, so he needs a robe. But you think about the story and everything too.
Mhm. And the color white and how it is a symbol for innocence. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, this is one of the best plays I've ever seen. Just absolutely marvelous.
Honestly,
I'm on a high. I just got to get on that stage.
Aldo will encourage this 100%. But say, I know they will.
All the actors have gone off. I'm gonna go up there now.
I'll sit back down in my seat and watch.
There's like 6 people left in the theater from like the 60-person house, sort of milling around.
Yeah, Bram clambers up onto the stage, kind of looks around.
Yeah.
Do some lines.
I'll do some lines. Got to think of something. Yay. Yay.
And then gets down.
I've got to practice a bit more. I couldn't remember any more of it.
It was good. I met you were probably in second place for that part, I'm sure.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Really good.
Where we going next? We gotta keep the party going.
Let's go to Primetime. That's all where I always like to go.
Yes.
We going 5 deep?
5 deep into Primetime. Yes. Yes, 5 deep into Primetime.
Yeah, that's right. We're going 5 deep.
Like
Bram's like
goes
pulling
to
out
black
a flash.
and then comes back out, and we're
Just
like
boom,
5
we're
deep
in
at Primetime.
Yeah. There's music playing. There's cigar smoke filling the place. There's people on the dance floor. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go
it's
dance.
bumping in here. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Amazing.
pick someone to indulge vice with. Just
Okay. Yeah, there's that same. Didn't we talk about a disaster lesbian who you were imitating? the
Yeah,
last time we were here?
Love. Her name was
Yeah,
Love.
love. Yes, yeah, you could totally do her again, unless you do a different person every time.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be a different person every time, but I could do her
Okay.
friend or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, who would be some good people to imitate at this bar? There's a musician. Oh,
Okay.
there's a musician who's a pretty good improviser. He's playing the clarinet, or the equivalent of the clarinet. And he always, every time he turns his music page, he drops the page. And so he always has to spend, like, most of the time he's like playing, like doing a thing, and he'll kind of lean down limbo style, grab the sheet music, put it back on the stand, and then keep
Cool.
playing.
Cool move.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But yes, like very conscientious and sort of trying to do everything right. And yes, yeah, okay. But then, like, when he gets into the groove of it, it's just like really in the groove.
I'll be that person, but like as a dancer, so like grooving
Yeah.
out and dancing with Hix, but it's like sort of like having moments of extreme self-consciousness, which is how Kristin dances. So
Ta-da! Fantastic. Love it.
So.
Yeah. What else is happening at this dance party?
Are there any of are they called the cobwebs?
They're Six Towers gang. This
Okay,
is
so they're
in
not here.
Stoke Shore. They're
They don't
probably
come
not
around
coming.
here.
But you could totally have run into one on the way, like leaving Six Towers if you wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
On our way,
Yeah.
maybe we see a couple cobwebs that Bram recognizes.
Yeah.
Um,
They're at the you probably pass through the stink bloom and they're just like sitting around with each other. They're like bothering people a little bit. When people are coming in, they're like, "Hey, you have the password? Do you have the little toll?" And like someone's like trying to take some money.
Okay, yeah, I'll approach one of them who's kind of snickering or whatever, and just.
You're bloody funny, aren't you? You're a real funny customer.
Don't know, man. You look like the funny one to me.
Yeah. Now, I think you look pretty funny. Actually, I think I've seen your face before. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I think I saw it on the end of my fucking boot.
And Bram just like launches at the guy,
Yes.
grabs him by the head, throws him to the ground, kicks him in the face, and then like draws himself up to his full height and literally roars at the rest of them.
Yes,
God.
roll that skirmish. Let's see what that feels like mechanically. I love it.
Farkas from Christmas Story.
That's the level of nuance I've dipped to. Okay, that's a 4.
Okay, great. This guy is 2 tiers lower than you because these guys are tier 0. So a 4 with double increased effect. This guy, yeah, you do exactly what you said. Like you headbutt him, throw him on the ground, kick him. You roar. The other guy's like and like one of them runs off. The other one's like, "The hell?" and like comes at you with a fist.
Yeah, let's go. I'll take the punch.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
just like, that's it. You're like, all right, I'm fine.
and then mostly I'm just trying to get in their heads and be like, oh,
Yes.
Big boy, big cobweb boy, aren't you? Big spider comes at night, leaves a little trail of shit.
The rest of us are just like standing in a little clump talking. It's like we're out and our friend like saw someone they know. And we're just like,
the
ugh.
equivalent of that.
And we're just like talking, waiting for them to be done.
Yeah,
Amazing.
so I'm sorry to say that whoever is the last cobweb left just gets like absolutely pummeled.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And then Bram kind of like trips away, stumbling. At this point, he's pretty drunk, and I don't know if the was it the Quicksilver, if it like wears off quickly or if it stays in force for like most of the night.
You definitely, I think you'd probably wear off sometime after you get to Primetime.
Okay.
So it's
Come on,
working out.
Aldo. Let's go.
Before you do, you're beating up the cobwebs and you're like beating the crap out of the last of them. The other one's like, "Look, man, just fucking leave us alone. We're just trying to. Look, we didn't mean to do any harm." And then 2 people walk up. One of them grabs the one who's begging by his collar, throws him against the wall. You've already punched him in the face. He's bloody. These 2 men in very dark gray cloaks look at you all, and they say, they look at Bram and say, "Are these hooligans causing you some trouble?"
Graham is stunned by that. I think Bram, it's just like clearly he's like literally pulling his shirt off, saying,
I'm the king of Doskvol.
I'm sorry. He's had a lot.
I heard he's the King of Doskvol. Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Well, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't being bothered by this riffraff. It looks like you're taking care of yourself, however. Let us know if there's anything.
This way, Your Highness. This way, Your Highness.
Yeah, let's take my coat.
Let's go. I'm like stooping and bowing to the king as he passes, marching. Like pick up some like dirt and like throw it in the air like it's confetti or something.
The Cubs, the cobweb who you've just been like absolutely pummeling on the ground is sitting there, 2 black eyes, blood leaking out of his mouth, and he says, "Yes, sorry, Your Highness."
Oh, I feel bad.
Yeah, I mean,
King, you can do what you want.
yeah, you're the king.
Yeah,
Step on them,
Bram
they're
has
little.
just lost it. He's like forging his way to Primetime, and
Yeah, love it. Yeah, the two men in the gray cloaks watch you as you go. Don't do anything, and then as you leave, that before you're out of sight, they've moved on.
Love your chicken, by the way.
Love it. Yeah, you make it to Primetime. Anything else that's happening at Primetime? Also, roll your indulge, Bram. That was pretty good indulging.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm indulging as well. I indulge at the theater. Can we
Love it.
count
Yes,
all,
roll
like,
the
this
indulge.
night out?
Yes.
And how does Hix's indulge rule work?
You can
again?
adjust it up or down by 2.
Oh my gosh.
It's real good.
okay, that is a 5 for me.
So you could adjust to 7 if you wanted to clear it.
Yeah, I do. I think I'm at 8, so I go down to 1.
You're at 8. So down to 1. Nice. Ooh,
Wow.
that's a nice.
Oh, and
time.
and the indulge vice does not stop there.
Oh,
It's like
night's still
miserable to be around by the time we get to prime time. He's like cornering people and like slobbering on them and trying to eat, but like vomits,
Oh,
and eventually
jeez.
like rolls out through the kitchen. People are like, huh? And he just like falls over in an alley.
Oh, jeez.
Amazing. You are just once again meeting all sorts of friends. A couple of men come into the alleyway where you are, and one of the crew might be with you as well, but one of them crouches down and sort of lifts up your chin a little bit and says, "Are you all right, my friend?" This is a red sash. This is Ekon, the lieutenant of the red sashes.
I'm the King of Doskvol.
It's at this point Aldo comes out and he's turned around back into the kitchen like, I know I'm sorry. He'll thank you, like apologizing to the whatever you did to these chefs on the way through of the kitchens.
And you step out and you see Ekon and Ajani standing in the alleyway.
Oh, there he is. The King of Doskvol. Did he tell you he's the King of Doskvol?
We got a hint of it, yes.
Yes, he's a very good king.
We
Live here.
Oh God.
yes. Very
I'm
well.
gonna sit him up. Come on. This is no place for a king to sleep. I'm sorry. Good to see you.
Yeah. Ajani
Have I
looks
met
at
with
you
them?
both very.
No, I know Ajani. Probably at the very least. I don't know if I know Ekon.
You know Ajani because he fought with you on the Orcus
Yeah,
Tooth and his sister got killed.
right.
Yeah,
but I don't know
you've never met Akon. No,
That's
you've
right.
never met him.
Somebody
Yeah,
else
he's
is.
friendly.
Yeah.
Ajani takes a step towards both of you with pretty serious intent, and Ekon puts out his hand and stops him. And Ajani sort of looks at him angrily and says, "This is a moment." And Ekon says, "No, it's not. These are our friends. Friends of our friends."
You trespass upon the personage of the king.
No,
Is
Bram.
that what you do?
Bram, he's gonna just like cover your mouth if I can. You can bite it.
You want some? I see the look in your eye. I know that look.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't want.
We would hardly deign to impose upon the presence of royalty. We've in Alkebulan know our manners.
Thank you.
They roll out in their different direction. You just run into a lot of friends tonight.
Friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Unclench is what happens here.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
We should. I should get you. You need to Come on, let's go to your royal
Oh,
bed.
the Seymour line.
Oh no, no, not like this.
Let's go.
If Bram will let me, I'm gonna try and drag you all the way back to a bed somewhere. But I don't know how that goes.
Yeah. While you're dragging him, he's like,
We're gonna find the gate. The white gate. We're gonna find it and go through it.
Yes, we're going to. I'm working on it. How much did you drink tonight?
I say an absurd number
Oh,
drinks.
300.
and how much quicksilver? If he'll, trying to get some info out of him.
You could probably feel the empty bottle or vial or whatever
Yeah.
it is on my person. It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll just keep
Nice.
yes, anding your drunken slovenly.
Great.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, you get him somewhere. Anything else happening with the party that evening?
No, I go home and I'm not even hungover. But I dance the night away with the girl.
Oh, lovely.
And I rolled a 3, which I'm adjusting to a 5, so I'm down to 2 stress.
Ooh. That's
So
nice.
I rolled a 4, which I won't adjust at all. And just
Woo.
remove it all.
Sweet. Awesome.
Those are awesome.
And Varric, anything were you did with the folks or?
I don't think so. I indulged my vice. I stayed out with everybody till. Actually, you know, I'll say I didn't stay out that late. I went home to go see if Oyen had a night off.
Okay,
quite
great. Yeah, and she did, and the she asks you at length about the masked ball. She wants to hear about all the things that happened. She wants to hear about the music, particularly. She's very interested in the music and what dances are being done and what ones are popular right now. Yeah. Is there anything particular that you share with her about the ball or about in general?
Yeah, I'm surprisingly honest about like what happened at the ball, the fight, the actual number of people involved, kind of meeting the woman with the white stag.
The white stag, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also kind of towards the end of rambling about what's been happening, what happened, kind of look at Oyen and say, You know that I couldn't have taken you, right?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that at all.
I didn't think you were. I'm just I've been waxing lyrical about this party for some time now, and it's just occurring to me it's somewhat rude, given that you didn't get the chance to attend.
Oh no, that's all right. So, I mean, it was a masked ball, and it seems like I. No, I wasn't expect. I know that you wouldn't, and also I know that you were working. I wasn't going to. That was all my attention. No.
Yes, no, just making sure. And kind of, I was gonna put a hand on top of her. If it were possible, I would, you know.
Are there dances in the city where we could go together?
Yes, of course. I would love to.
Ones where you would want to go, though. I mean, I know that there are dances in Char Hollow where they have plenty of Severosi and people from Yamatan and El Capulani and all sorts of people. But I want it to be a place that you feel comfortable.
You know, to be honest, I don't think I feel comfortable anywhere. But if it's somewhere that you think you'd have a good time, then I'll have a good time.
You don't have to listen to me about anything, but I came here 5 years ago, and I was a little girl. I mean, I still am a little girl, in many ways. But I was not comfortable here. I did not know what this place was. But I found a way to be comfortable here, and people with whom I am comfortable. And it seems strange to me that someone who has the city at his fingertips does not feel that way about his own life.
You're very patient with me. I'm sorry I don't really get better quickly enough.
You're
I'm
wrong.
like-
You're wrong. That's not true at all. Everyone else is very... People, it's not that you're slow and other people are fast. Other people don't change at all. And I don't need you to change. I don't have an outcome that I'm looking for. I suppose it would be nice for us to be comfortable and not have to be afraid of anything. But I think lots of people want to live that way, and that's a little bit how life is. Anyway, I'm talking too much about that.
No. Other people can get by with less. You deserve the best, and I'm going to make sure you get it.
I feel pretty good right now.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Let me try my Doskvol accent. So, the clams are very good. Yes, they could be tastier, but the fishermen did not do it well enough. You need the truly the best ones from the blessed places. Everything best all the time.
Yeah, Varric's gonna chuckle and just like lean in for a kiss.
And she'll grab his face there, but.
I don't think there's a mechanical reason for any of that. I just
Oh, it's great.
Wait, you can't justify what you've just done in the game via
Sorry, I'm
mechanic.
so-
What are we doing here?
Why are we even here? Throw the dice.
We're not even halfway through this dungeon. All right. So, this feels like I'm prompting this a little bit. Feel free to say, "Shut up, Ted." Is anything happening with the Lissa framing process?
Yes, but I didn't have those notes. I think lived in Zoom chat, and thus I
That's a terrible place for them to be. That was my bad.
forgot them completely and could not remember, so I couldn't review what to do for that.
I just dropped them in the Discord. You can take a look at them as you wish. I sent both of the plans we had talked about. I think you had decided on the one involving the con artist and like renting out a location. You talked to Eckerd about potentially getting a location,
That's right.
which he'd been willing to do. So that had moved that clock forward.
Right. So we have to get the.
So you're doing a 6-part clock of learning about her interests and what kind of business deal would win her over. Yeah. So I think you'd gotten let's say you'd gotten 2 out of 6 on that clock.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah. So I'm thinking. I wanna approach the girl, and I'm gonna say, so we need to have someone who is going to front as the owner of this silk shore business that we're going to solicit Lissa or hire them, rather try to court their protection for this business in silk shore. So we need you to pretend to be a wealthy business owner, wealthy silk shore business owner. We have to create a front there. Ekon has hooked me up with the property, but you have to be the one to meet with Lissa and win her business. I mean, it seems like this lies within your skill set. Perhaps I'm wrong. Is this something that you are comfortable or interested in?
I mean, me or Varric. Varric isn't. I mean, I know Aldo the other day said something, but he's good at being posh.
That's true, but the only trouble is that Lissa knows Varric's face, and she doesn't know your face.
Then it must be me. All right.
I mean, it doesn't. If you don't have the bandwidth for this, I know of someone who is trustworthy who does this sort of work, who I could approach. But I like to keep these sorts of things in house if you can.
I can do it. I have no idea what bandwidth is, but I think I can do it.
I don't really either. I just keep talking, and then these words come out. Sometimes it's almost as if there's part of me that's in another world.
I frequently feel that way too.
It's sort of wonderful. Anyway, I digress. Perhaps we could go shopping in Silkshore, and you can get a look at some of these shopkeepers.
All right. I like
Cool.
getting a look at people.
Let's go.
Cool.
So what I have in
is-
mind is this is
yeah.
the acquire asset. Instead of picking up Ransonald Bane, we're picking up some character study for the girl.
Love it. Yeah. So you're going to need a minimum tier 3 on this in order to succeed it. So basically, the way that you roll acquire asset is if you get a 4-5, you get equal to your crew's tier in terms of the assets. So that'd be 2. If you get a 6, however, it'll be a 3. Or if you get below the number you need, you can pay a coin to increase the level of the asset.
We only have 1 coin right
So
now.
you could pay. So if you get a 1 through 3, you're not going to get it this roll. But if you could roll a 4 or 5, you could push the coin. If you get a 6, you'll just keep it. You could also push yourself to improve the quality of the roll.
Great. Well, I guess it's me who has
Or
to roll
aid.
because it's my action.
Sure.
So the action that I wish to take is consort.
Cool. Awesome.
So just chatting up these shopkeepers, getting them in a conversation where I'm trying to sort of take them through a gamut of like expressions and emotions, and saying things that might be inflammatory on purpose, but smoothing it over, and
Cool.
just trying to get them a wide range of what these people are thinking about and the sort of systems that they're engaging themselves with, so that she can
Extremely cool.
observe this.
Love it. That's awesome.
Great.
So rolling your consort.
2 is the best.
Ooh. Yeah. So the people, the shopkeepers who you talk to, it's not that you have a bad experience, but you're having trouble getting at the exact, senses of their, like getting all the real crap from them. There's a little bit too much obfuscating.
It's like everybody thinks I'm trying to steal something when I'm walking in here, so they're like watching or something.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So you end up, you'd have to pay 2 coin to get it up to the quality of the level that you're looking for.
I mean, I'm not paying these people.
Heck no. Yeah. So
All right.
so an
didn't
afternoon
get a lot
spent
out of
among
that.
shopkeepers.
Perhaps it might be better if you did a solo excursion, or perhaps if you went with Varric. Some people for some reason think I slum up the place when I show up.
Well, it's not the way you're dressed. I noticed you look quite nice lately, so
Thank you. Must be my...
demeanor or
What do you mean?
Oh, well, just the sort of the casual, the languid, draping yourself on the counter and staring directly into people's eyes. Can be a little alarming.
Sometimes I'm alarming to people. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling me. I don't think I'm going to stop doing that. I don't know. I just like to keep it real with people. I don't really want to bullshit. And if people can't hang, then God damn it, though. I just feel like this was a big waste of time. So you're right. I mean, I got to dial it back sometimes. You're right.
I mean, have you
Cool.
tried ever being another person? It's very useful. I don't know why everyone's so opposed.
Yeah, I did that for a long time. And it didn't suit me. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I'll tell you about it sometime if you want.
I'd like that. Sometimes I think I'd like to be you, if that's ever okay with you. Just try it out one night, maybe.
Go for it. I have a lot of fun.
It does seem that way.
And I don't think I can really talk about myself with any level of authority. How well can a person really know themselves? But I like to think that if you're just trying to be me, then you're just gonna try to be you, the most true, deep down version of you. At least that's what I'm aiming at for myself. But I guess if I have to say it, then it's too much already.
I mean, it would be an interesting strategy, perhaps.
I'd love to see it.
Well, maybe, like you said, Varric and I can try this again. Ted, how would that work mechanically? Like, can we
do another acquire asset action?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe also that's one of the things that the cohort can do for you.
Oh, acquire asset.
Yeah, they could get you some stuff potentially. They've
Get
got
the
a free
Leviathan hunters to kidnap a shopkeeper.
Yeah, I know, right?
Another thing I was thinking about in terms of an asset to acquire would be like a convincing set of documents or clothing of a shopkeeper. Some physical accoutrements that could be physically convincing. But that's that's one possibility.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, let's connect up with Arisha. She could probably help us out.
Yeah. So it seems like I'm just setting myself up for this here, but I'm actually going to introduce you entanglement, which is that
I love it.
which is that you hear some news about the maimed Leviathan hunters, who have now just grown in numbers, and they just got into a big fight at a bar in the docks with a bunch of dockers who are actually your friends. You have a +1 relationship with the dockers. This entanglement is called gang trouble, and basically what happened is some people were being legitimately pretty shitty towards the maimed Leviathan hunters, who are every single person in the maimed Leviathan hunters is missing a limb or some major body part, and they were getting mocked and sort of treated badly by some dockers in a bar, and there was a little bit of an altercation, and it generally got settled in that like somebody got punched in the face for being a jerk, but then the Leviathan hunters went a little bit overboard after that and broke a guy's nose and several fingers in his hand, and people are mad. The dockers are mad. Oh, Varric, you're muted. Over here to say.
Tormas? I bet it was that Tormas.
So there.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. It seems like a justified reaction to me.
I agree.
Yeah. So the option that you have with gang trouble is that you can lose face, which is forfeit rep equal to your tier +1. So you'd forfeit 3 rep. Make an example of one of the gang members, or face reprisals from the wronged party.
The gang members are the dockers?
The gang members. No, you could discipline one of your own guys.
No.
The Leviathan hunters were in the right.
Hold on. So what are our options? Either we're gonna lose face with assholes,
yes.
scold our own person, or or I don't even care what the other one is. Like I'd choose option 1.
Yeah, great.
What was the third though?
The third was face reprisals from the wronged party.
Oh, we could take some reprisals. They ain't shit.
The dockers are the wronged party?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring that shit on.
Great. So you meet in an alleyway in the docks behind this bar several hours after this occurred. The dude is
Kristin.
this guy is sobbing. His hand is a mangled mess. All of his fingers are broken. Several of the Leviathan hunters are there, and there's just like 5 dockers who are sitting there, just sort of angry, looking at you. None of them are.
I mean, who are we parlaying with here?
Sure, there's
Who's
a leader
speaking
of the,
on behalf of the dockers? Who's our buddy, presumably over there?
Yeah, there's a leader of the dockers. There's not. It's not a gang. It's not a lieutenant. It's just like a guy who works on a big ship, and he looks he looks embarrassed for this situation, and he goes, "Hey there, Bram Hix. Who else is there?"
I'm there.
Okay, Aldo.
I think I'm on a roof watching.
Okay, great. Yeah. He goes, yeah, so I think you get the sense of what happens. People were causing a bit of a fight. There was some arguing. This kid said something out of line. I thought the fight was over. He got the punch in the face that he deserved, plus a couple more with a boot in the ribs. And then they dragged him out back here, and they broke his hand.
Well, maybe you think twice. Now that he understands the predicament of those he was mocking.
That's well said, Bram.
Make what's your role? Command, consort?
Command, for sure.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, great. Yeah.
It's 5.
Okay, great. That's going to be two ticks on a 4-part clock. Docker's convinced. A couple of them, the kid's like crying a little bit, and one of them's like, "Shut the fuck up, man. You're fine." And another one's like, "Fuck that. I mean, look, he was an idiot. Look, I don't agree with what he was saying, but it seems like it's a bit overboard."
What do you want?
I don't know.
What do you want, man? What can we do for you? Do you need something from us to make you feel better out of this? What do you need?
I don't know. I think be reasonable to acknowledge that something maybe was out of line here with this fucker over here. And you see one of these Leviathan hunters who's this young man who's missing his entire left arm, just like down off the shoulder.
I think we have acknowledged that something was out of line, and I think that person received their due judgment.
It sounds to me like a situation I've fucked around and found out, to be frank.
How much have you spoken?
Very sorry, we can't hear you.
Yeah, your
I can't hear you
sip's
very
quiet.
My microphone moved. How well do you know our companions here? How much have you spoken to them?
Well, me, I mean, not very much. They come to the bar sometimes.
Do you understand why so many of them are missing limbs?
Well, yeah, they got eaten.
These
by
are
Leviathans.
war veterans of the Catalan campaign. You're disrespecting
What shit
them.
are you pulling here?
I'm just like looking at Varric, just like, let's see if he can climb up on top of this thing and ride it for a while.
I love Varric. When the truce would suffice, get alive.
What? I thought they were Leviathan hunters. I thought it was they got their arm bitten off by a whale.
A man can have 2 jobs, sir, in his life.
One
And
of
your
them's
friend
like-
is here
Yeah, it's true.
insulting them.
All right, let's make that consort roll. I want to see that. You can
I
post
feel, like
that if you want.
I feel like that's a sway for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sway.
that's true. That is pure sway. No question. All right, how'd it go?
That is a 5.
Heck yeah. Yeah. So, okay, here's what happens. The leader looks at the kid, the Leviathan hunter who broke the guy's hand, who spits on the ground, and the leader says, You worked as a Leviathan hunter, and you fought in the Catalan War. The kid goes, What of it? The guy goes, How old are you? He's like, 27. He's like clearly like 18. And the doctors, the leader of the doctors goes over to the kid with the broken hand and says, "All right, buddy, come on, you come with me." And he takes a bit of trance powder, gives it to him, just like, and he looks to like relax a little bit from the pain, and he says, "Come on this way, come on." And he looks at all of you and says, "Sorry to make you come all this way."
My man. Turn around and go.
Love it. It's great. Yeah. So, yeah, we've got a few minutes
What were we
left.
doing again? Oh, we were going to talk to Arisha.
Yeah.
Arisha, I'll turn to
Yes.
Arisha.
Yes.
Help us. I'll tell her to acquire this asset.
Thank goodness. We've sorry, we just we got the new folks. There's a lot of energy. Thanks for backing us up. Really appreciate that. I'll make sure the kid doesn't get himself in trouble, even if it is for a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, usually we want to. I'm sorry it had to be like this. I mean, usually we want to let y'all speak for yourselves and do your own thing, but this is a bit of a business contact. The Dockers are in our line of work, you know. We got to keep this relationship good.
I understand. Yeah.
And I mean, we stuck our necks out for you because, I mean, he fucked that guy up. But I mean, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
we also don't want anyone stepping to y'all if we can give you some support.
Yeah, that means a lot. I'll see what I can get on this asset for you. No problem. Hey, and thanks for the we've really got some good stuff going for you. I mean, all this cash, we've everyone's well equipped. So next big thing you're doing, we're ready.
Great.
We're on it. So they're gonna make a roll on this asset. Yeah. Ooh. So the next day, they come back to the Queen's Magnolia on one of the little iron boats from the Orcus Tooth, and they've got in a box. Tormas comes out with a wooden box, comes up to the girl who's there for some reason, and he says, "Right, so I wanted to see if this was the kind of thing that you were maybe looking for." And he opens up the box, and there's like really nice shopkeeper's clothes. I mean, it's like olive green color. There's a couple documents as a license to run a tavern, and yeah, some other all the other documentation you need. Yeah.
Stick our necks out for him.
Tormas, this is brilliant. Yes, this is exactly what we need. And I'll take it and I'll try and find Hix, I think.
Great.
Hey, this
Yeah,
is
maybe-
perfect. So
maybe they have
we're
to pick
opening a tavern, it looks like.
I guess we're opening a tavern. Bram will be pleased.
Certainly. We'll have to secure a corner where Bram can play.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you now have obtained asset for this against Lissa. So all that you need to do now, you need to fill this clock, sort of gathering information, and then need to fill another clock to infiltrate the girl into the Ravens so that they will believe this relationship, and then obtaining the asset to finish so you have the info about the bar, but then obtaining another asset to get the actual secure the actual location for the evening and have it all set up. So that's it. That's all.
Cool.
Cool.
Just a lot of other actions.
Can- sorry. Can the question, Ted, if I can send a couple letters as Eckerd real quick?
Oh,
Just very
sure.
fast. I think Hix, you receive a letter, probably given through whatever channels you prefer.
We can even say that this happened early on.
I mean, it's whenever. It's a couple days after
sure.
Aldo is. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this is just all it says is
Cool.
Aldo is awake. I'm sure you know. Take care of him, and also at the bottom it says if you need eyes or you need a rifle, let me know. And then I think the girl, you get one as well, and it just says please apologize to your friend again for me one more time.
This is like the 4th time or 5th time he's apologized.
And that's it.
I love it. Oh, that's great.
And I think like 5 or 6 days later, Bram calls Aldo into the captain's quarters at the Orcus Tooth.
Yes.
And you see on the wall, there's like full conspiracy web notes on a pinboard or whatever of every detail of what he can remember from our experience attuning and approaching the White Gate. And kind of clap you on the back, rub my hands together and say, we've taken a break. And I appreciate you stopping me from doing anything reckless when I was indisposed. I think it's time to get back to work. And prominently on my board, you see, I guess, a sketch, not a great sketch, but a sketch of the man who we have seen now, I think, abduct and or hurt at least 2 young children, right?
Is the shiny shoes or ring hand?
Are they not the same guy? There would be a sketch of 2 different guys then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's the interaction where the man with the rings asked the shiny shoes man, "Is it done?"
Mm-hmm,
And then I saw the shiny shoes man talking to that kid, right? At least you're employed. Okay.
The redheaded kid with whose wrist he broke. Yeah.
Aldo will grab one of your pens and add some details and adjust one of your sketches. He's a pretty good artist.
And I say, we're going to start in the real world, so that if we run into something like this again, we know what we're up against. It's time to find some information on our friends.
Couldn't agree more. I'm just really excited.
Okay. So is this what kind of role are you doing, and what's your approach? I assume this is going to be a large flock of.
I wonder, Bram.
What is 6-fingered man? I mean, the man with the many rings.
What did you have in mind, or did you have something in mind?
Well, I think that we need to just take whatever it is that we know about him and see what the first step is. So I don't know if that would be like a study role. Do you think?
Seems reasonable. Yeah.
In terms of the action, I'm trying to gather information, and then maybe like at some point, maybe not immediately, but at some point, gain an asset.
Cool. Yeah.
Great.
For now, let's just do it as I think a study roll is great from either of you.
Okay, study's a 5.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. So we're gonna start a clock. It's gonna be an 8-part clock. And it's gonna be called The Man with Many Rings.
Ooh, fun.
Excellent.
So, Man with Many Rings at 2 out of 8. So the things you can narrow down as you guys know this, but like these are wealthy individuals. The one thing that's really interesting about your dreams encounters that you had was that you weren't able to identify any of the districts that you were in. Like none of the architecture made sense. So you're not exactly sure. There was the redheaded kid was in Charter Hall, so that actually was one indicator. But you get a sense that these are wealthy individuals, connected individuals. The man was in a large study. You're just like piecing together all these details, trying to think about what sort of organizations this could be. And you talk about the different possible outcomes. Could it be, child trafficking or other, or like, is there specific labor that they're trying to get these people for? Is this a spy network? What is the nature of this organization? So all of it's pretty strongly conjecture at this point, but you guys make a little progress, and maybe get the sense that you could point yourselves to either some higher class questions, like looking towards some more organizations among the higher class, or could look towards records, try to get people. You also do know that you have a friend who happens to know a lot of little kids who do work.
Ugh. Okay.
So you might be able to find a certain other kid, potentially. Yeah.
Great.
That's probably as much as you get at this point. So yeah, you spend a few hours a day or so sort of thinking through a bunch of this. And Bram, you and the girl had a conversation about your dream, did you not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just trying to recall if that had actually happened.
Yeah, and I'm happy to include you in that. In any of our discussions, we might even at some point like awkwardly call you into the cabin and like ask what you remember from the experience of your dream, and kind of add that to our list.
Yeah. If the girl was invited into the cabin and saw all this documentation, what would her reaction be?
I think she would be very confused and concerned, and a little bit like, you mean the scary dream from weeks ago, or before the ball even?
Look, we've got it all mapped out. This is what we saw,
And I'll walk you through the whole thing, as long as you're willing to listen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think she'll sit there and kind of like let them talk at her.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole thing. But no real response from her after the story is finished.
Just that, this sounds mad.
I would agree with you if we hadn't seen it. To you maybe felt like a dream, but I don't know. It was real. I understand, but
I heard my own voice in that dream. I heard the first words I ever said.
sorry, what were those words again?
I believe it was just mother.
Screaming for my mother.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Do you... I know you've been, well, let me say, I've learned some things about, from Bram about not asking questions where, it is not any of your business, but I feel, I don't know, do you have, who is your mother?
Well, I was screaming for, do you know Hannah Cleon? The politician, the
Progress Consortium.
Yeah, no clue from Aldo, but...
I imagine Bram would know.
Bram would absolutely know her, yeah. Yeah, she's a Six Towers. She's elected in Six Towers, which is weird because she doesn't officially live in Six Towers. Bit of potentially
Classic.
a political opportunist, a little bit.
That's your mother.
Well, she was my mother for a brief period of time, and I was a child and certainly didn't understand that she wasn't interested in the role that she was performing. I don't know what that has to do with your White Gate, though, and I don't think I can actually help you. I'm not sure it's wise.
There's just like this kind of cold, like unapologetic indifference to your opinion on whether or not we're mad.
Mm-hmm. It's like follows suit straight down the line.
You once
Thank
told
you.
me, Bram, that you had people you cared about.
Mm.
When I accused you once of all being reckless and endangering yourselves and others. Well, this is what I'm referring to. This sort of behavior.
Bram will kind of like hear you out and then picks up one of the push pins and just jams it into the head of the man who is in the sketch is holding the wrist of the redheaded child, and then just put a big fat sausage finger on the redhead and say,
We're not the ones in danger.
Just because you're not the only ones in danger doesn't mean you're not. And I would like to leave.
Oh.
Yeah, steps up and pieces out. I don't mean to prompt you, Kristin, but do you go anywhere that evening?
I mean, sure. I just want.
We'll finish this out.
Haven't
Really
been
quick.
sure. Yeah. Okay. So I would love to go to the Keltree Sisterhood's mansion. The last time I was there, I got a pretty good survey roll in.
Yeah.
Yep. And I would like to sneak in and get a peek at some paintings.
There are 3 entrances into the house. There is a servant's quarters. You could climb the direct outside of the house, and there's also the direct approach where you knock on the front door.
Not that. I'll
Wait,
climb.
those are on the ground, right? Not.
I'll try climbing through the servants' quarters. Did you say?
Well, climbing is one. Going through the servants' quarters.
Oh,
is the
sorry.
Back of the house. Yeah.
Climbing.
Right.
I'm gonna
You
climb.
love climbing, yeah, of course. Great. All right. Yeah, make a prowl probably.
Yes.
Right. And you can push yourself if you like, but you don't have to.
I will not.
Okay.
6.
Okay. You easily scale the outside of this overgrown mansion covered in ivy. You go around the backside. There's a bunch of windows. As you reach the 3rd floor, past there's the large salon where you remembered being welcomed in by the sisters. You pass that where you actually see the back of one of the sisters' heads as she's sitting with Benjamin, the large dog. She's petting his head very sensitively. You climb up, and as you try to open the window, you reach towards the handle, and your hand stops as if pressed against slick ice. You feel it sort of closed against you. There's something perhaps supernatural about it. There are a bunch of windows. That's the one with the major thing. You do see above you on the 4th floor there's a window that appears to maybe be open slightly, but you could try to force this. You could try to attune, see if you could break through this what might be supernatural barrier or whatever.
I'll go for that open window that you mentioned.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's roll another prowl and see if you get in there. Okay.
Five.
Okay. Yeah. So you climb up. There's a moment of as your foot hits one of the handles of another window, but you're climbing up brick and vine, and eventually clamber up into an attic in the Keltree Sisterhood's house. There's it's pretty. There's all sorts of stuff in here, packages, lots of things wrapped up in lots of brown paper with string. Some of them appear to be statues. It's very dusty up here, but not that dusty. There's a clear trail of where people have been recently, and you can see lots of that. You can head down the stairs towards the study.
I'll head to where we sort of delivered the paintings and where I assume they're hanging.
Okay. Yeah, you head downstairs. Your footsteps creak lightly on the floor. You hear someone passing in the hall, moving towards a bedroom. You wait. You hear a door close. And then you move past. You continue until you find there is a sort of library study area on the 3rd floor, and both of the paintings that you brought to the Sisterhood are hanging on the wall. It just looks like a regular library. The desk is covered in open books, but you look up at the two paintings. There is a landscape and there is a portrait. Which do you prefer either of them, or look at either of them specifically?
I mean, I would like to look at both.
Sure, of course, yeah. Just which do you focus on first?
I'll focus on the portrait because I'm trying to confirm something that I thought I saw the first time I was here.
Okay. You look at the portrait of Kyrol, one of the earliest queens of Doskvol. She is sitting in a strange position. Her hands are sort of folded together. She's in the painting. She's sitting in front of a mirror, so you actually can see the back of her head in the reflection. Her hair is dangling over her bare neck. Yeah. As you look closer, you see on the back of her neck a symbol. It is, if anyone's seen Arrival, it looks a little bit like the language in that film, but it's a simple, incomplete circle with sort of strange organic addendums to parts of the. It's this very imperfect circle.
Are there any mirrors in the study?
There's one right behind you.
I would like to drape my hair over one shoulder and try and angle my body to look at the back of my own neck.
Yeah, you find it a little bit difficult. It's hard to get the reflection of your own back of your neck. And so as you're trying to do it, you're interrupted by a voice. It says, "I wondered if you'd return to us."
I'm so sorry. I wasn't going to steal anything. I was only looking at the paintings.
Theodore Keltree walks in. She's in a nightgown. She looks at you quite warmly and says, "Oh, no worries at all. I didn't know if there was anyone here. All I heard was a single something on the window, so I'm quite impressed." You were interested by the paintings?
The girl is sort of trying to decide whether or not to slip into Jilly or to sort of remain a more neutral character. And she's sort of like beginning to tear up. No. I just thought I hope you really don't mind. It's just that the painting, the portrait, I was just fascinated by them. You see, I'm interested in the Lost District, and she's gonna cry a couple pretty tears.
Mm-hmm. Roll a
trying to get some sympathy. Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
4.
Okay. Slightly reduced effect because of her tear, but still partial success. She's going to say, "You don't need to put on all that much of a show, dear."
I thought it might help. Sometimes it does. And
certainly. Tears are quite effective. Yeah. Advanced weaponry, one might say.
Mm.
What is it that you want to know about the Lost District? And then she looks in the mirror and she says, "Oh." And you see that the same tattoo on the back of Kyrol's neck is, or whatever it is, the mark on the back of the neck is on the girl's neck.
Oh. Yeah.
Not on Theodore Keltree's. That would be very cool.
That's a bigger O that is on you.
Yes, yeah, it's on you. And that is where we'll end our session for today.
Oh, you real big doo-doo.
So thank you for all for staying a little bit extra with us. Went a little bit over, but just wanted to leap into more stuff. We didn't even get Brace Meriden didn't even appear, but we didn't need him.
Always need
it. Yeah.
Brace Meriden
But-
forever.
Yes, thank you all so much. So a quick announcement for those of us who are going to watch this either now or on VOD, whatever. There will be no Contraband next week. we will. There are some conflicts among the group, we'll be having next week off, and then the following weekend we'll be back. And actually, we'll have only 2 more episodes, and that will be it. Which is crazy to think. That is absolutely insane. But we're gonna make it. Everything's gonna be fine. Nothing's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna wrap everything up nice and tidy.
Yep. Every single plot thread that you think about, it's gonna be resolved. No
Yeah,
question.
we got through all the downtime actions today. I didn't leave any that we didn't finish.
Don't worry. It's all for season 2 and 3
It's all for
and
season
4
2.
and 5.
Yes, it'll be great. Are we going on a raid this evening?
Let's do it.
Great.
Perception Studio is going right now.
Sounds good.
Let's go
Awesome.
over to Perception Studio.
Yeah,
Yay.
we'll hit them up for a second. Support them. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And wherever and whenever you're watching this via time travel or the regular time, which is in its own sense time travel, it's really amazing what we do just by being alive. But looking forward to our session next week. Not next week, the week after next, and we will see you very soon. Yes. Good night.
Good night.
Mm,
We're going slowly.
it's okay.
Yeah.